tuning in to Outside the Ring. Your host, John Callahan.
And Frank Wrestling.
And we'll be covering this week's Raw and Smackdown. Opened with Miz and Maurice doing their little John Cena, Nikki Bella shtick, which still is good. Great. I like the Miz impersonating him and doing a ridiculous job at it.
Yeah, he does a really good job at it. I'm wondering how long this is going to be able to last, simply because Cena's not on TV at the moment, but I don't know. I still find it funny, and he seems like he's getting better and better every time he does it. So
he's becoming more John Cena than John Cena is at this moment. It's a nice thing to see, a fresher John Cena.
So Michael Cole says that instantly that Miz and Maurice are a part of Raw. Midway through their shtick, Ambrose music hits.
Yay!
Yeah, you know how I feel about Dean Ambrose at this point.
You love him, right?
Yes, he's my favorite wrestler on the roster. No, but on a serious note, congrats to Ambrose. He wiped up Renee Young. I don't know if you heard that. So
congratulations, happily married couple.
So we will. I mean, regardless of how I feel about his in-ring work, congrats on that, because that's a huge gift.
Oh yeah, Renee Young.
I don't actually know that she's long for the WWE. I feel like she might actually be headed to ESPN or somewhere down the line. I don't know. I know she's a fan.
I mean, Coachman did it. Granted, Coachman's not calling WWE anymore.
And Todd Grisham or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a habit of taking WWE guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you're good at the job, you're good at the job, and other people are going to want you.
She's great. I think she's something special for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dean, of course, being his ignorant self, playing along.
Wacky Dean.
Yep. And,
which is my least favorite Dean Ambrose.
It's fun. It's
Diet
fun.
Roddy Piper.
They're going to take the Smackdown feud and put it on Raw. Because, of course, Smackdown.
We've seen this a million times.
Of course. I mean, didn't they fight for the Intercontinental Championship like 3 different occasions?
Yeah, it's not really one of my... I don't know. I feel like, and somebody's made this point, I know one of the podcasts, I could name drop a bunch of podcasts last episodes, but one of them I'm sure said that, Miz works better when he has someone to play off of, and I'm not really sure if Dean Ambrose is that person, because Dean Ambrose is hit or miss, and it's miss a lot as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not really sure that promo-wise and mic-wise that it'll be the best matchup with those two.
Well, with Dean Ambrose, it's kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall. You hope it sticks, but most of the time it just bounces and falls. It's rock bottom. And unfortunately, Dean, that's kind of how your character's going, because you change from person to person and person. And I understand you're a lunatic and unstable, but you got to choose a certain type of unstable.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of the whole lead the WWE championship in a car and,
And he, in his, we'll get to that later, but he would, never mind, we'll get to it later, because he had a match later that night with Kevin Owens, and I'll talk about it then.
Anyway, Miz tells them that they aren't actually John Cena and Nikki Bella, and Ambrose responds with or something stupid like that, and dirty deeds to end the segment. And yeah, I thought this was what it was. I was happy with Miz and Morrison. It was not so much with Dean Ambrose, but I don't know. Now that he's off of Smackdown, that'll be one less thing and not to like about Smackdown, because that's my favorite show, especially with some of the moves that came in this superstar shakeup. If you didn't hear that 15,000 times during Raw and Smackdown the last couple days.
Well, of course.
Oh, God, I hate when they do stuff like that.
Let's over-promote.
So what we got? Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn?
Oh, God. Oh, Sammy, I'm so happy that you are off of Raw, because you were starting to look like a child. God.
Starting to be annoying as hell. Like, I'm actually starting to not be a Sami Zayn fan, because his annoyingness is getting to ridiculous levels right now.
Again, all I can think of is that cartoon when I was a kid, Recess, and the little snitch Miss Finster had. That was all I could see Sami Zayn being. And it's like, come on, man, you are not the weasel. Come on, bring it up. You are the underdog, not a fucking weasel.
Miz interrupts the Kurt Angle Sami Zayn segment, and long story short, they make a main event That's the next one. New Day cut the promo on the Revival for the match. Revival came out in We Broke Kofi's ankle shirts, which I thought was hilarious.
It's nice to see that the top guys they come out and they're just doing a good job. They're not like floating around, just paddling, like, which way do I go? I got my little floaties on. They're like, nah, we're top guys. We got this shit. We know what we're doing. It's nice to see from a fresh up-and-coming group from NXT.
Revival work over Woods. Hot tag to Big E. The shatter machine that they hit was a little botched, but it did look brutal. It was a counter to the midnight hour.
That's not the only botch that looked brutal in the night.
Revival win, which they should win, and it was a decent match, and I love that Revival are looking like a big deal right out of the gates. I think they could do a lot with this team, but again, they have to be able to market them and push them correctly, and not have this 50-50 booking bullshit that they like to do. Revival should win, and they should win often. And I would like to see them pushed similar to how Charlotte's pushed in the women's division, personally. I don't know that they'll do that, but that botch for that shatter machine, when I saw it, I was like, y'all ain't DIY, because you know DIY would have made that look amazing. Y'all ain't DIY.
And for me, it was a good thing to see New Day kind of just hand Revival the reins a little bit. Be like, look, we're giving y'all some faith, because they are the longest reigning tag team champion, and they were going to Smackdown, and you knew they knew it. And it's like, yeah, let's give them a couple good looks, because they fucked up Kofi in that one, and then all of a sudden now they win against him again, and it's like, that's the last match New Day has on Raw, and they got beat by the Revival, and it's awesome to see that they come in just kicking ass.
As they should. Best tag team on the planet, bar none. Alright, so next we have a Neville interview. Woohoo! Which I was happy to see, and then I was quickly not happy to see TJ Perkins come on my TV. Neville says Perkins' career is a joke, which it is. Austin Aries interrupts and says that he's lying through his teeth, and Neville walks off after saying that only championship opportunities can come from one person, and that being him. And Perkins basically walks away after this, and it's kind of foreshadowing to what happens later.
Yeah, he just walks off with some stank.
Yeah, TJ Perkins has a face that you want to see, of a guy that you want to see get the shit kicked out of him. Like, he has that crybaby looking heel face, like that.
Grow a little face. Even a 5 o'clock shadow would do you wonders, sir.
Nah, he should look exactly the way he is, but he should whine like kind of like Chris Jericho did in the late '90s in WCW.
Well, yeah, if you're going to go that way,
conspiracy theory, just I don't know, just whine and bitch. Like, he has that face. Like, I mean, his following is made up of like teenage girls because he looks like he's their age. Like, he just whine and bitch. They could do a lot with him, but again, a lot of his stuff. Some of these guys with these scripted promos, they work out well, and then others, it's a complete catastrophe. And he's on that list where it just sounds terrible. Everything he says sounds ridiculous. And if they would loosen up the reins with him a little bit and make him cry because he just has that face that you want to see get punched in, I think that could work for him. And, we'll see what the heel turn. Did I just break what happened? But we'll see what happens with him. Foreshadowing now kind of ruined, but we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. Was it their match next, or was it?
It was Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins and Big Show. That's right. And that was a quick little segment. Kurt Hawkins wants you to face the facts. Unfortunately, there's not many facts about Kurt Hawkins that you like. So you kind of just hear the Big Show's music hit, and you're like,
Here's the fact about Kurt Hawkins. He was a job guy on Smackdown. He's going to be a job guy on Raw. Big Show's music hits. He comes out. He knocks him out, and he leaves. And to be fair, that's about how I want to see both of those guys used. I don't want to see Big Show on my TV that much anymore.
Nope.
And I mean, Kurt Hawkins was. I mean, any hype he had when he came back last year is dead. He should just be used as a job guy.
He was a jobber back when he first was here, up until the point when he was an Edgehead. But that was just because Edge and his whole little thing was going on.
Can you imagine being Kurt Hawkins and winning the tag team titles back then, and so early in your WWE career, and going, man, I wonder what the future holds.
Oh yeah.
And then you fast forward 10 years, and this guy, has he won?
No, he's got cheesy punchlines, and he has a cane that he does not look good with. He's not a pimp.
His whole look is...
He's not handicapped. He's just strange. And his whole thing where he looks at the camera and wants you to face the facts, there are no facts about you, Kurt, that I care for.
And there were actually people hyped for the Viennettes. I can't speak to that. When he came back, there were people thinking, maybe they're going to use him in some capacity. And here's the question I have. Why would they waste their time putting all those together if they were just going to use him as a job guy?
Maybe to make him sign. Hey, you come back and work for us, and we'll give you this amount of money, and we'll also cut you this nifty promo for weeks and weeks and weeks just to drive people crazy and make you think that we're going to do some shit with you.
All I can say
bitch.
Is if that's why, I really hope that he got a Del Rio type deal where he's there for, a year, and then he can bounce if he's not happy with how he's being used.
Something, because he's a waste of space, unfortunately. He's just a guy there to make other people look,
No, I disagree. You need guys like that on the roster.
But he doesn't make them look good. It's a quick 2-minute match.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nothing substantial. It's not like, okay, he got a few right hands in and, oh my God, Kurt Hawkins hit a clothesline. Oh no, he's gonna win. No, it's not even close. It's like you see him walk to the ring and it's not funny. There is no humor in the match. It's like it's supposed to be a somewhat serious match and he gets beat in 2 minutes. It's not James Ellsworth. It's not no chin music and all this other shit where you can laugh and be like, this is funny because, the dude looks like a turtle and he's beating AJ Styles up. Oh my God. No, he is cast as supposed to be some sort of threat, and he is jobbed so quickly.
I agree you need guys like that on the roster to make the stars look good. But I also think that, like I said, this guy, I don't believe he's won. Or if he has won, it's like 1 or 2 matches since he's come back.
And possibly one of those matches was a dark match.
He's got to be like, here's the thing. I remember watching WCW as a kid. And back then I watched everything they put on. So I'd watch Nitro. When Thunder was a thing, I'd watch Thunder. And then I'd watch WCW Saturday Night, right? And it had the guys that were job guys on like Nitro, and they would go to Saturday Night and they would beat up on like the local indie guys, and they'd get like win streaks going, and you'd be like, okay, this guy's doing something, and then you put him on Raw to job to like Scott Hall, and you're like, okay, well this guy, he was doing well on Saturday Night, but he's at this level, Scott Hall's at this level, and it makes Scott Hall look like a bigger star. The problem I have with guys like Kurt Hawkins is they never win. So if you never win, why are you on the roster? If you never win, what separates you from the guys that watch this shit?
Yeah, truthfully.
He's got to get some kind of win.
Technically, I have more pins than Kurt Hawkins does right now. And that's just between friends sitting there drunk and making each other tap out or whatnot wrestling.
Right.
Kurt Hawkins is a joke at this point in time. If he came to my house and was like, let's fight, I would probably just laugh and close the door because I knew he wasn't serious.
Job guys should be job guys, but they shouldn't be Glass Joe from fucking Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Not only that, but they shouldn't be advertised as something bigger.
Right.
He shouldn't have his whole catchphrase if you're just going to make him lose night in and night out. There should be no facing the facts when the only fact is he's going to get pinned.
The only fact is he's wasting my time.
Exactly. I would rather fast forward through the match, understand that Sami Zayn's going to Luva kick his face off, and then just be done with it and move on through a freaking, is it 3 or 4 hours? 3-hour Raw. 3 hours.
That's another thing. When he never wins, it really, when you see him on your TV, you automatically know. And this is not just the person that's been watching this shit for 20, 25 years. This is also just in general. I mean, you don't have to be, somebody that watches this shit like that to know that if this guy never wins and he's on TV, he's gonna lose to whoever comes. I mean, whoever's music hits, you go, okay, this guy's getting an easy win. This guy's getting a push. Mm-hmm. Like you know that.
Oh yeah.
So like I said, if even if your job guys could get made to look kind of strong against indie talent, I don't know that WWE is kind of against doing that until very recently. They've been against bringing in indie guys for any reason. Generally, they'll bring them in now for guys like Braun Strowman. They were doing it for Nia Jax a while back, but maybe do it a little bit for your job guys to make them have some kind of credibility. Because
I mean, morale is a big thing. You want even the losers to feel like they're a winner. I mean, at this point in time, I feel kind of silly for saying it. I feel James Ellsworth would beat Kurt Hawkins. I really do. And James Ellsworth should not beat anybody.
I mean, James Ellsworth had wins over AJ Styles, so you might be right.
But granted, Dean helped him out.
It doesn't matter.
It's a win. The record book,
we just established Kurt Hawkins can't even get a win.
Exactly. So James Ellsworth does have more wins than Kurt Hawkins. And it's time for you to face the facts. Anyways, off of that guy. Let's see. We've got... What's next? Is it Seth that comes out? My Raw notes are...
The next thing after was Neville came out on commentary, and the next match was Austin Aries and TJ Perkins.
Yep.
And Perkins got absolute crickets from this crowd. This crowd didn't give a fuck about TJ Perkins.
And unfortunately...
Actually, the crowd was just the shits for the match in general.
His gimmick is not something to be all up about. He was great in the Cruiserweight Classic because he was the unknown person.
He was good because they couldn't get Kota Ibushi. If they got Kota Ibushi, then he would have been dropped.
Yeah,
long before he got to the final.
Of course. But at least in the Cruiserweight Classic, his moveset and how it was used was good. It was interesting to watch him.
But, WWE, they have to, when they get their hands on people, they have to WWEize them.
Oh, yeah. It's not about the wrestling. It's about how you appear on the microphone.
We would tell stories.
You better be an actor.
We make movies.
I'd rather just see you get punched in the mouth, truthfully.
But, again, I actually thought this was a decent match despite the crowd not giving a shit about it.
Well, Austin Aries was in the match. Of course it's going to be at least a decent match.
And TJ Perkins, we just said he's not without skill.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This match was ruined. Yeah.
None.
That's what I say. And he sounds way too scripted, like I said earlier.
Unfortunately, James Ellsworth, again, sorry to bring that name up, has more charisma than TJ Perkins. It's time for y'all to face the facts. I think I'm going to make the Kurt Hawkins thing just a usual thing now. I'm sorry.
This was a decent match, in my opinion, but it was ruined by a distraction roll-up, which I fucking hate those. I hate matches ruined like that. That is a terrible finish to me, and it wasn't the only one on this show. TJ Perkins, but it was just to set up what happened after the match. So TJ Perkins actually turns heel after the match. He hits a detonation kick on Aries, and the crowd chants, "You still suck." So, I mean, at least they're chanting something. Like I said, there was crickets when he came out.
Yeah.
So at least he got some kind of reaction.
It's better than only problem with that is that even though you could have been built as a good heel or a good face, WWE again has to go in and ruin it by prematurely ejaculating all over the story and just go, let's turn you heel real fast all of a sudden and see how people react. And it worked a little bit, but unfortunately, it's "you still suck."
Well, I mean, at least they're booing him now and chanting "You still suck" when he's supposed to be booed, rather than push him as a face, as this, beloved guy, and no one says or does anything. They just go to the fucking concession stand when his match is going on.
True.
Or they check their cell phones, or they're, surfing the internet or doing anything but watching this guy who they're supposed to be, engaged with. At least, it takes, even though it's, not the best chant to get, at least it's a chant. At least they were able to, get off their hands and chant something at him.
Yeah, at least he's not hearing just, get your hot dogs! Fresh hot dogs!
Or he's hearing his video game music at full blast because there's no crowd at all. Right?
I just hate that shit.
The music?
Yes, it's so, whenever it first happened, I was like, alright, this is cool. But then it was just more childish, and I lost interest in him, and it was just fizzled out and died. Because I'm a big video game person. I love video games
too. That's why they made it for him.
And that's cool, but if you don't do something to kind of reinforce that, I'm sorry, I am a big believer in your music needs to match you.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and come out to Whitney Houston and be Baron Corbin. It's not going to happen. It doesn't look right. It doesn't flow.
We talk about this all the time with Nia Jax.
Exactly.
It's ruined.
It is key. It's the first thing people get of you.
Yeah.
You're not even on stage yet. They hear your music. That's supposed to give them the emotion that they're supposed to feel about you. Mm-hmm. So you come out and you're supposed to be Mega Man music, and this guy's going to be great, and all of a sudden he's dabbing and shit. Why the hell aren't you just playing 2 Chainz or something?
I don't know. And that seems like the vibe that he was going to give off whenever he first debuted in the Cruiserweight Classic. But like I said, once WWE gets their hands on you, they have to turn you into what they think you should be.
And it's like they had him give a questionnaire, and they're like, what are your hobbies? And he's like, video games. We'll stop there. Okay, yeah, we'll stop at video games.
They said the people that do the theme music for them were stoked to make that theme song for them. That they're really in love with the idea.
I like the theme song. I just don't think it matches with TJ Perkins.
Yeah, I don't either. I thought that when I first heard it, I was like, especially watching the whole Cruiserweight Classic and seeing him come out to that, I was like, this is off. This is not actually.
I could have seen him coming out with a harder hitting pop. Maybe rap.
Some kind of rap music is what I was thinking. Especially because he doesn't dab as much as he used to.
Oh, thank God. I haven't watched 205 in a while.
I haven't watched either. But he during the Cruiserweight Classic, he was dabbing all the time, 2-3 times a match.
He would come out, he would get down, do his little Superman, I'm flying type pose as he squatted. Then he'd get up and he'd wind his hand in and do the dab real quick. And then he'd get into the ring and he'd do a drop kick or something or trip you up, and you'd sit up and look at him, and he'd dab in your face, and then
don't forget the head scissor. And then when he has your head scissored and he's sitting on the ground, he dabs in.
Oh yeah, he likes to show you, hey, look, I can still dab. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but
did you see my dab?
Yeah, this isn't a dance off.
Did you see my other dab?
But this isn't a dance off.
Did you see my other dab?
Okay, your other dab was pretty cool. It's and then they tap out to him. It's 3 dabs is the limit. Then
I do like his knee bar though. That is.
Oh yeah,
I think that's all.
Again, his technique and his wrestling skill is good. His gimmick and his music are not.
Right.
They need to match the skill, and he needs to match his attitude towards what he's putting out. I'm sorry, but you can't go in there with video game music from when you might have been 7, dabbing, and perform the way you perform. You perform at a top-notch level, you come out to childish music, and you act like somebody who's in a dance-off. And those 3 things cannot mesh.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't. If you want to be in a dance-off, dude, fight in a dance technique. I mean, with the whole, you remember, was it Tekken, where the dude was sitting there and he would jump up and down?
Eddie Gordo.
Yes.
Eddie Gordo.
Yes. Do something like that, because trust me, nobody does it, and it would be a lot more interesting. I would probably pay more attention because you're pulling off shit while you're dancing. And I don't mean freaking No Way Jose dancing where you're just doing some cha-cha for a little bit till you, quote-unquote, get serious. Which, by the way, Jose, no disrespect. I love you, bro. But,
dude, I want No Way Jose and Rich Swann to be a tag team.
That would be awesome.
I thought that since I first saw tagging.
Yes.
I think they would get over with.
But I think TJ Perkins could do the Rasta-style dance fight. If you want to dance fight. Do it where you're sitting there and you're busting your moves and shit. People are swinging at you and you're doing like down like Cesaro would do, where he'd get like in his little armbar thing and he'd jump on his back and jump on his feet and jump on his back and jump on his feet. Do that type of shit. Make it flow. Do Rasta type shit, and then I'm fine with you dancing.
I think it's much more simple as far as the way I think he should. I just think as bad as his promo skills are, you need to keep a mic as far away from his hands as possible. He's insufferable.
Either that, or like you said, make him a whiner.
Yeah, because his voice does work well for that. But anytime I hear him on the mic, he's got a very high voice for a man too.
Yes.
So as soon as he starts talking, I can't take him serious. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if he gets that whining gimmick,
take Tyler Breeze's whining gimmick and give it to TJ Perkins, and you have a pretty good athlete right there. At least somebody who's good on the mic and everything, and he can perform well in the ring. But take away the video game music.
You remember when Jericho would come out in WCW with the loopholes and he had the book of rules and shit?
Yeah.
TJ Perkins did some shit like that. I think it would really get over. Because he, like I said, he just has a very punchable face with a very high, feminine kind of voice. No disrespect, dude. I mean, just self-awareness here. Your voice is kind of high for a dude.
Yeah.
That could work.
Get on my level, TJ.
Yeah. Freaking Barry White over here.
Right. You'll never find.
So, we got Seth Rollins out at the 8 o'clock hour. Seth got the babyface promo.
Which, I will say, kind of to me, mimicked a little bit after AJ Styles, when AJ was like, I ain't leaving Smackdown, this is my place. And
right.
Seth, instead of going, I built this, he's more like, you'll have to force me out. But, sorry, AJ beat you to the punch.
I'm still waiting on Seth Rollins AJ Styles match. I think it could be awesome.
It could be.
Just hopefully, if Seth Rollins were to hurt AJ Styles, and I know those were freak accidents with Seth, if Seth Rollins would have hurt AJ Styles, I would never forgive him for that shit. But I think, conversely, they could have an amazing match together.
Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely a great match.
Come on. AJ Styles led fucking Shane McMahon to probably the best match on the card.
Oh, yeah. Probably Shane McMahon's best match.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of that Kurt Angle Shane McMahon match back in the
Well, I mean, okay. Okay, yeah.
That was my shit.
But out of all the matches Shane has had, you've got two that rank up there as top. And I think AJ Styles and Shane, especially Shane at the age he is now, to rank up there, that's great work. Great work. And I don't know if you saw this, but just because we're on Seth Rollins at the moment, did you hear that he's got a new finisher?
I saw that. It's a jumping knee.
It's Baron Corbin turning someone into the end of days, except they just catch a jumping knee.
Yeah. And see, again, with Seth, I don't know that you want him using that. And I'm not trying to say that he's unsafe, but dude, he turned John Cena's face into fucking spaghetti sauce. His nose was on the side of his face.
John Cena was sniffing his earlobe. I mean, truthfully, I think that was more of a mistake on both parts. Because Seth already was up in the air, had his knee out there. John, you kind of just turned into it. And unfortunately, dude's knee's not going anywhere. He's coming at you with full motion, and it's solid, and you're just turning this little feeble-ass nose.
To me, I know a reason I'm kind of disappointed if that is his new finisher is as creative as Seth is in the ring. I feel like he could come up with something a little better than a jumping knee.
And I'm hoping that's just like a filler, because they can't use the pedigree.
They stripped him of the curb stomp, which I still hate.
Exactly. I mean, I've seen plenty of moves that are worse than that.
at.
It's not even that hard to pull off. Granted, I mean, if Seth is fucking stopping people like he's actually trying to kill them, then yeah, we got a problem. But
the argument I heard to that was they don't want kids doing a curb stomp at home. So you want them doing a tombstone pile driver?
Or any pile driver?
I mean,
how did Stone Cold get his neck broke?
The Undertaker used a pile driver for 25 years.
Right.
It wasn't a problem. So, I mean, what are we talking about?
I mean, pretty much Seth Rollins' curb stomp is, I'm going to put my foot behind your shoulder blades and push your chest into the ground. You're going to act like your face smacks against the mat and you'll be knocked out cold.
Here's the thing. I don't think you should ban the move, but I could see changing the name of the move because you hear curb stomp and that does have some heaviness to it. If you look the term curb stomp on the line.
Oh yeah. American History X immediately
exactly.
comes to mind.
So, I mean, there's a negative connotation with that, but you can call it something else. You don't have to
call it the pulverizer, for Christ's sake. I mean, something.
I still hate the calf crusher. God. Calf killer. It's better. They don't want to use the word killer, so.
No, because we're PG. We aspire to children.
You can be PG, but not overdo it, but they tend to.
I'm sorry, but wrestling cannot be PG.
No, not if they want to put on quality product.
No, they can't be PG, period.
Oh my God, dude, I got something to tell you here in a minute when we get to later in the show. Something I read earlier. I don't know if you read it, but I read it on the quote unquote dirt sheet.
Are you talking about the fan that got kicked out?
No, I'm talking about the petition for Braun Strowman. Did you read about that?
I did not. We'll get to that later then. But did you see about the fan that got kicked out?
Yeah, I did.
Because of the JBL side?
Yes.
JBL bullied me.
Yeah.
Sorry, JBL. You're a bully. It's kind of a fact. Face the facts. But, I mean, it's kind of sad to see that because WWE pushes so hard with don't be a bully, be a star, but yet you don't apply it to your superstars and the people that are employed with you. And that kind of speaks to the level of actually what you focus on and what you care about.
Well, I mean, look, you hear the list is a mile long with JBL, and he's not the only one. I mean, you can go look at some of the stories from Michael Hayes, and you wonder why both of these guys had a job.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Vince has a certain set of guys that he likes, and I think Michael Hayes has a job for life there, and JBL probably does too.
Well, I mean, just to me, because I've seen it everywhere I've ever worked, I'm a big believer in say what you mean what you say. If you're going to be a company who goes out of your way to promote anti-bullying, but JBL can't be punished for bullying Ronaldo, for bullying any of the other guys that he's bullied, you're not setting an example. You're pretty much just do what I say, not what I do. And unfortunately, that's not a fact because you have kids out here who still beat the crap out of each other. Because, yeah, you say, don't perform these stunts and blah, 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 but yet you show them and you want to be a PG show so that kids can watch you. Unfortunately, you can't be a PG show and do that.
I mean, if you want to get into WWE hypocrisy, we can go even deeper.
No, let's not. Let's stick to Raw and Smackdown. Maybe
I just got 2 quick points.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at the AJ Lee story from a few years ago where she called Stephanie out on Twitter for praising and Stephanie. They're very disingenuous. I think it was Stephanie a few years ago that was talking about something to do with philanthropy is the future of business or some shit like that. I think it's some tweet that makes every nice thing that they do seem completely disingenuous. But anyway, she was talking about the whole AJ, she's praising some woman, I forget. It's not really that important, but AJ called her out, and literally this was back when the women would have literally a minute and a half of screen time on a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
You want to go a little deeper than that? Look at the shit that they kicked Hogan. Hogan's still not been back to the WWE. He's been blacklisted. He's not in their Hall of Fame on of the Ultimate Warrior, and you can look up the things that the Ultimate Warrior has said about various groups of people over the years. And
the Ultimate Warrior threatened Vince McMahon with a gun.
Well, I mean, look at his views on gay people, his views on a lot of. I mean, he was a polarizing guy.
Oh yeah,
and he has a statue. Meanwhile, Hogan has not been back with the company.
Because,
so there's a lot of hypocrisy going on in that company. I mean, it just is what it is.
Anyways,
moving on. Seth says he's on Raw as long as he. I can't read my own notes here.
Yeah, as long as he's got breath to live and blah, 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 he's going to be on Raw. And in order to get him off, you're going to have to physically remove him and throw him out of the building.
That was the words. Okay. God, my handwriting is shit. Samoa Joe attacks Rollins from behind. You can read that one. So, I don't know. Is that going to be the next feud? Or
definitely has to be the next feud because, I mean, it was started before it even happened.
And he name dropped that in the promo, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. He said, I got a few things in my way, Samoa Joe.
Absolutely.
I hate kind of how they do that, where they emphasize shit. It's like, okay, look.
Seth's voice, man. God.
I like Seth, don't get me wrong.
I do too. His voice is annoying at times. Especially when he would come out and cut those heel promos, those 25-minute long ones.
And to me, he wasn't a good whiny bitch heel. Like whenever he had Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury. Yeah, I didn't really like that Seth Rollins. That Seth Rollins was kind of douchey, and you didn't really see much of him. I like that he's going heel because I think he'll be able to show more of himself and his athleticism.
What, at the time, or?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. At the time, he was still showing that type of stuff, but you had a whole bunch of distractions and a whole bunch of people interfering when the referee's back was turned. And
I don't know that he was terrible, in my opinion, but I think that it's hard for anybody to go out and cut a 20, 25-minute promo every fucking week.
Yeah.
And it's on a 3-hour show. Like, dude, that is overexposure, and it's fine. Like,
oh, definitely.
If the Rock was out there cutting 25-minute promos every single week, we would get sick of it.
Yeah.
Like, that it's too much. That's the theme of this company lately. It's too much. A lot of the shit they're doing is less is more.
The thing was, back then, they would have The Rock cut a promo, and then Chris Jericho come out and cut a promo with him, and they had good back and forth. Now, it seems like WWE can't find somebody that can actually have a good back and forth with each other.
Well, yeah, because you can't do it for 20. Look, this is your, what was it, the Rock and Mankind, This Is Your Life segment? I think that was 27 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we're literally doing that every week.
Yeah.
You can't write for shit like that every week. You can't come up with something interesting to say for that long.
Part of the reason that happens is because you have these cheap finishes. Because you don't let matches go the whole length. You want them to get cut off shortly, and
because you want to build to a pay-per-view.
Exactly, and it's like,
what's the point of watching Raw sometimes because they do that?
Why not make every match you make a WrestleMania match? Make them all great, and then, I saw that, but that's when you get to have your big grandstand that you built to. That's what WrestleMania is for, is to have the big matches, tables, ladders, and chairs, Hell in a Cell, cage matches, and stuff like that, Iron Man matches, and push it even further. But at least, to make your show good, have great matches.
I think you should have, I disagree, I think you should have one great match a week, at least. And I think Smackdown, see, this is why I like Smackdown more, because their main events, if you notice, their main events, we're in Central Time here, so Smackdown ends at 9. Their main events will start generally around 8:30. And that's when you'll start to see the entrances. And generally by 8:35, they're in the ring, and it's a 20 to 25-minute main event every night. Or every Smackdown. I like that. There should be one match like that on every show.
But here's the thing, Smackdown has 2 or 3 matches, in my opinion, when I've watched, that are good matches.
Yeah.
That are great matches. I say go for every match. because that's what you should shoot for. Not every match will make that grade, because unfortunately, you are going to have to throw in some little stuff. Okay, we need this person to interfere because of this. It's going to happen. That's how your story builds. But when you're doing it every week, and you're doing it 4 or 5 times every week, it gets old and repetitive. Absolutely. You should strive to have your superstars perform at their best every night. And if the story requires it, we're going to have somebody interfere or somebody distract. And that's fine. But your superstars, to me, I think, as a wrestler, and this is just my work ethic, I would want to go out there and put on the best damn show of my life every night. I want to go out there because it's the thing I love to do. This is amazing. I get to go out here and do some amazing stuff. And if it's a cheap finish or whatever, I want it to look good. But there's a lot of matches that they don't give that stride to let it look good.
I agree with that. Well, I do kind of disagree. And here's what I think they do. I agree with what you said. There are too many times. If Raw has 6 matches, 4 of them will end in fuck finishes, where they don't try at all. I think that's far too much. But conversely, I think if you put on 4 out of your 5 matches being 20 minutes long on Raw, I think eventually, if you do something a lot, people will eventually get bored with it. But I absolutely think that right now they're leaning way too far to the side of we'll do 4 to 5 fuck finishes a night and just build toward this pay-per-view. Yeah. And then there's too much of let's get the money. Let's put on the show when we get the money to do so, rather than let's try to put on a decent Raw every time we can. The storylines will carry you so far, but at the end of the day, this is not a variety hour. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
And I would like to see 2 to 3 good wrestling matches a week. They don't have to be 20-minute matches.
That's per show.
Yeah.
Because if it's all on Smackdown, there's no reason for Raw.
Well, here's the thing. On Smackdown, they only do about 4 matches a night. So usually, it's rare to see Smackdown go out there and do a 3.5-minute match that ends in a fuck finish.
Exactly. That might be 1 match a month for Smackdown. Every other match, even if it is a roll-up pin or something, it at least would last like 5 to 10 minutes. A good-sized match where you can get involved.
They can tell a story.
Exactly. Because your words carry you so far. Your actions have to carry you the rest of the way. And if your actions cannot match what you're doing in the ring, then what's going on here? You need to perform better. That's why Brock Lesnar doesn't speak. If he speaks, it is for 30 seconds and it's over. Paul Heyman speaks for him because Paul Heyman can convey it the way it needs to be conveyed. Right. Brock Lesnar is not someone to speak. He is someone to beat your ass. That is why they gave him a mouthpiece. They gave him the chance to try to speak, and they could see he fumbled his way through it. Yeah. No disrespect, please don't come to my house and suplex me out my front window. That would not be preferred. But it's the truth, and you know it, bro. Because, seriously, all he does is he goes out there and he kicks ass. If he's supposed to take an ass beating from Goldberg because the company's going to pay him $13 million to do it, I would do it.
I know I see Brock get a lot of hate. I don't think he's as checked out as people think he is. I do think he's over 50% checked out, but I think that he gives a fuck more than he let on.
Because if not, he wouldn't have sold it like that for Goldberg.
Well, he likes Goldberg. He likes. There's a few people that he likes in the wrestling business. He's Goldberg friends.
Yeah. Him and CM Punk were actually good acquaintances. Yeah. They weren't, I wouldn't say the best of friends, but they were pleasant with each other.
Brock has my personality. He don't like people, so he don't like too many people.
Yeah.
But CM Punk was, him and CM Punk were okay with each other, and I think he respects the hell out of Goldberg. But like I said, dude, I don't need a 4-star match or every match on Raw, but I would like them to put more. I mean, because when they mail it in, they mail it the fuck in, and they mail it in for months at a time, dude. Like, especially after summer. You go from SummerSlam to Royal Rumble, and you're lucky if you see 5 good matches on Raw.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, they just don't even give a fuck after SummerSlam. So where we at? We ended with Samoa Joe attacking Rollins. And we had a Kevin Owens interview.
Actually, we didn't even talk about the Samoa Joe thing.
Okay.
Samoa Joe attacks Seth Rollins, which Kurt Angle interrupted. I don't know if that could... Well, yeah, he tried, but he did get Joe to back off. And to me...
By the way, how cool was it watching, knowing Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe's history, seeing them in the same ring on WWE?
It is nice. Awesome. It is awesome. But I feel like that could cause Kurt Angle a little heat, quote-unquote, from Samoa Joe. Granted, now that Kevin Owens is off of Raw, and it's not Evolution, or the new Rise of Evolution anymore, I'm kind of curious as to what the hell's going on. But hey, we'll figure that stuff out as it comes. But Kurt Angle interrupted, got Samoa Joe off, and then Samoa Joe ends up being the loser in this altercation. And that's where I think possibly maybe a little bit of heat between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle can come. Not anything physical.
I kind of thought that too.
Exactly, but a lot of shit talking, like, why are you pulling me off and shit, jumping in.
I heard somebody proposed a year-long storyline, and may have actually involved Joe and Angle. I'm not sure if it involved those two, but basically it was a way to get Angle back into the ring, and it kind of builds. They kind of go back and forth, kind of like Miz and Daniel Bryan did for the next year, and it would culminate in WrestleMania next year with Kurt finally just saying "fuck it" and get in the ring, and deal with whoever's been, giving him hell for the past year. Maybe they do something like that. I could see Samoa Joe easily doing that, especially if you watched him on NXT with William Regal.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Seth Rollins ends up with the upper hand, and then ready for Joe. Joe's telling him he's going to get him, of course, and Joe will at some point in time. You know it's coming.
I hope they use him correctly. I've not really been too sure how they're going to use him yet, just because the time he debuted was weird.
Yeah.
Because they don't usually debut people right then. Like, I was betting money he was going to be in the Royal Rumble, and then they debut him the next night.
Yeah.
And then he started out like a bat out of hell, and then he's kind of been like...
fizzled.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him. So maybe they were building to this point where they get everybody where they want them to be as far as roster goes, and then they see what they're working with. But I really hope that they haven't, because, I mean, Vince changes his mind, like...
often.
Yes, so it's ridiculous. So I hope that he hadn't soured on Joe for whatever dumb reason he comes up with. You heard the story about Christian. He soured on Christian because he just thought he was ugly.
And one other side note on the Kurt Angle-Seth Rollins thing. When Kurt Angle was telling Seth Rollins that he will always have a home on Raw, and he said, "It's true. It's damn true." Did you notice that as he was about to say "damn," it sounded like someone had picked up another mic and started smacking the top of it?
No, I didn't.
I was sitting there listening, and as he was like, "It's true, and as he was about to say "damn," it sounded like someone just started, like, picked up a microphone and started smacking the mic, like, "You can't say damn, you can't say damn."
Well, he said ass like two seconds
ass
before
is different than damn. For some odd reason, bitch is different than ass, which is different from damn. I thought a curse word was a curse word.
I did too.
But apparently, you can call Maurice a bitch, and you can tell Miz you're going to kick his ass, and that's okay. But if you're saying it's true, it's damn true, somebody might pick up a mic and start being like, "Can't say that shit, Kurt."
Well, here's the thing. They save cuss words for who they want to save them for anyway. Like, usually, it'll be Cena that says some shit. Like, they'll save a... I remember distinctly a few months ago, Big Show was cutting a promo, and he was about to cuss, and then he stopped himself and he goes, "Y'all aren't getting me in trouble." And then literally 45 minutes later, Cena comes out and says the same fucking word. I want to say it was ass or bitch or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And Big Show stopped himself from saying it because he was going to quote unquote get in trouble. And Cena comes out 45 minutes later and says the same thing. So they save cuss words for who they want to save them for.
Yeah.
I think they have a quota, and if you go over it, then someone shits their pants.
What are you talking about? Most of the other superstars don't ever curse.
Exactly.
Your quota is 0.
And it's
John Cena, you have 99 curse words.
Yeah.
As long as fuck ain't one.
Because when all else fails, we need to get Cena over because he's not over enough.
For 15, 20 years?
Oh, God. I love their logic sometimes.
I don't.
You must not sense the great amount of sarcasm.
Oh, no. I did, but unfortunately our listeners might not have, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. We do not at all.
All right, we get to this Kevin Owens interview.
All right.
Owens says he is the face of America because he's the U.S. champ. Owens says
America.
Owens says Ambrose can act goofy all he wants as long as he remembers his place, which I thought that was a good line. Ambrose's place, Owens says, is below his because he is the premier champion on Raw. And I'm like, okay, well, to me that kind of made me think that they were going to keep the Universal Championship off TV for a while. I don't know if you got that vibe, but when I heard that, that's what I thought.
There is no payback match for the Universal Championship. He's not defending at Payback.
But, I mean, for him to say he's the premier champion on Raw makes me think that they're going to keep it off TV for a long period of time.
Well, at least for a month or two.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. Brock's a part-time person. He's not a full-time person. So now, and this, I know you're going to love, Dean Ambrose is the premier championship holder on Monday Night Raw.
Did you see they had an updated list of what people make in the WWE? Because they released one like a year ago.
Yeah.
They had an updated one. Brock makes $12 million a year for them.
Yeah, bro.
Dean Ambrose, he made $6 million on the other list, by the way. So they've actually increased him, doubled his salary. Ambrose makes like just under $3 million a year. So, for much to my chagrin, this guy's going to be in the top spot for a long. I mean, here's
the thing. You may hate him.
I don't hate him. I just can't stand him. I don't know. I can't hate him if I don't know him.
You would rather. No, I don't mean.
I'm not entertained by him.
I don't mean you hate him as a person. Like, I know that. You hate him, Dean Ambrose, the character.
I hate his ring work, and I can't stand him in the mic
the TV
80% of the time. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is understandable. We're not saying we hate any certain character when we talk about it. We're talking about the characters on TV.
His character is the drizzling.
It is. But
shout out to Dean Ambrose for Renee Young.
Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. She's got nice feet. Sorry, she's always out of her shoes. That's the only reason I know that. But the thing is, listen when he comes out. And your champion, Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose. And it's like, woo! He gets a big pop.
It was kind of ho-hum Monday, though.
Not that I heard.
I thought it was kind of ho-hum. But especially when you compare it to how he was, say, midway through last year.
I can understand, but maybe people weren't expecting.
Before he did Austin's podcast?
Yeah, possibly.
That's when the shit took the...
Yeah, but there's still a big pop for Dean Ambrose. There is still a big fan base for Dean Ambrose because he's a lunatic. So you get, and I don't want to be like casting people in certain groups, but you get the gothics, you get the depressed people, you get the crazy people, you get some people who are like, woo! Let's live on the wild side! I mean, they like Dean Ambrose because he's cast as the lunatic, the wild character. So that's who... You see that. I see that.
I can't call Dean Ambrose a lunatic when I've lived through Mick Foley, okay?
I know, but that's the thing. These people, most of them have not lived through Mick Foley.
We'll get into that when I talk about what happened with Braun, but okay.
Okay. But we can move on from the Dean Ambrose thing. Excuse me. That was Kevin and the Dean promo.
Yeah, Next, we got Charlotte and Nia Jax.
Botch City.
I just wrote for this. Nia is still very green.
Very. She almost broke Charlotte's neck.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw what was it, the shoulder breaker she tried?
Yes.
And the way she dropped her?
Yes.
It's like, Jesus.
And
This was a very slow match, which I fucking hate. They do that big girl, little girl style with some people. I can't stand it because there's a lot of rust holes in matches like that. And it was slow. The fans could not give a fuck about Nia Jax.
No.
Anyway, were you going to throw something in?
I was just going to say, besides her almost killing Charlotte, you had Charlotte trying to kill Nia with that moonsault off the freaking top rope where she, punted her in the face and in the shoulder. I was like, Jesus Christ, did she just break her, collarbone or something?
Absolutely, that's what I thought, too.
Oh my God. I mean, truthfully, most of the moves in that match made were botched. And that was sad to see because I think it was one, Charlotte was moving to Smackdown, so it was kind of like, if Nia gets over, she don't.
Yeah.
Because Nia won. That's how the match ended. So it was to boost Nia's rank in Raw. But
which they tried to do again later.
Exactly. Which, to me, the later bit worked a hell of a lot better in my book.
I was still kind of shocked to see her pin Charlotte clean.
I was too. Trust me, that whole match I could have done without. If she would have just run out and beat the shit out of those women like she did, I would have been fine with Nia for that whole night. Because that would have been impressive to me. But to follow the match she had with Charlotte, it was like, I see you trying to recover. But in the whole match, it was just, this is not working for me.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
And we've seen great matches from Charlotte, so it wasn't Charlotte.
No, definitely not Charlotte.
It's Nia, and to be honest, she should still probably be
in NXT. And the whole thing is that, and at least
so should Dana Brooke.
This is me throwing it out to Nia because I would like Nia to succeed because it's hard to see a bigger woman.
Yeah, she's different, and I would like to see her succeed.
Exactly, but the whole thing is I think she's too scared to hurt people. And that in and of itself will cause you to hurt people.
Yeah.
Whenever you're scared of your own strength, you don't gauge it correctly. And that we'll find out later with the Jinder Mahals and Finn Balor match. God.
Anyway, just for the notes I wrote for this, the crowd was dead. The moonsault from the outside was fucking awesome. The knee and shins of Charlotte hit Nia's shoulder, like we talked about, and thought she broke her collarbone. I was actually scared for that. And if you notice how Charlotte hit her, Charlotte then had to face plant because she did get caught. Probably.
Oh yeah.
So it's scary all around. Holy shit chance from the crowd. And Nia wins with the Samoan drop.
And I don't think the holy shit chants were for actual surprise. Like, oh my God, this match is awesome. I think they were surprised because they were like, holy fuck, somebody died.
Well, that move is dangerous as hell.
Every time she does it.
Not just for a woman, that's dangerous in general.
If she does it regular or the corkscrew.
The corkscrew is even more dangerous.
It's every time she does it, I will admit my sphincter clenches, and I'm like, please, girl, don't kill yourself.
I get scared, but then she nails it, and I'm like, dude, that is fucking...
I mean...
Eventually, you gotta go respect, because...
Oh, yeah. I respect the queen.
But at the same time, I just don't want her to snap an ankle, because she'll get caught correctly.
You can hit me up anytime you want to. I mean, I promise.
I think she's fucking Byron Saxton, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Bro, Byron. If this is true... Much love.
Or at least she was. I don't know if she still is.
Man, even if you had in the past, or even thought about it profusely, much love.
I didn't know it until, like I said, a month ago. And I started paying attention. I noticed that every time Charlotte would come out, Saxton would shit on her all the time. I guess that's why I never put two and two together. But I just noticed something too in talking about that. Charlotte's on SmackDown. Saxton's now on SmackDown. So if they're still dating, you see why.
Yeah. I mean, again,
they're getting good about that where they want couples to stay together.
Oh, yeah. Except for Lana and Rusev.
No, Lana, they showed a promo.
Well, yeah, but at first they didn't want that shit to happen.
Well, you know why, right? Did you hear why that was?
Because Lana shouldn't be with somebody that looks like Rusev at sporting events.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, Rusev, respect, dude. Lana is a pull.
Holy shit.
Woo. Bro, good job. And I even love you as a wrestler, bro. You are a mean son of a bitch, but you're a brutal son of a bitch. I like that shit. That shit's awesome.
By the way, him on SmackDown, I think is going to be really good.
Dude, SmackDown, I think, won.
Yeah, they did.
I think they won. But we'll get to that when SmackDown comes up. Let's keep going.
Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal. Very stiff match. And I wrote this. It wasn't just the shot that we learned later eventually gave Finn Balor a concussion. Just in general, just watching that match, there were a lot of stiff shots from Jinder.
When you're on them roids, it happens, bro.
He says he's not, but we'll see.
Man, he says he's not, but I can see your veins sitting there timing your other veins to see how their heart rate is.
They said 7% body fat in the match.
That's great. I mean, Jinder, truthfully, if you are really in that shape, respect, bro.
Actually, yeah.
Respect. But if you are using steroids, respect, bro. I mean, I don't give a shit one way or the other. Truthfully, it don't make me no difference.
I wonder if he's using test, because that's different than flat out steroids.
It could be, yeah.
He could be using
whatever you're doing. I mean, keep doing it. As long as if it's not steroids, or if it is steroids and you're just getting away with it, bro, you keep doing you, because you're looking nice, you're looking lean, and I mean, we'll all get over the steroid shit. I promise. You just keep kicking ass, and we'll be behind you at some point.
Well, kicking what ass? He keeps jobbing.
Okay, yeah, keep jobbing.
The guy looks like $1 million, but he has Kurt Hawkins syndrome where he can't win a match.
Man, they should pair you up against Kurt Hawkins, because we know that dude loses everything.
Right. Like I said,
you are on SmackDown Live 2 now, so you can beat up James Ellsworth. Do us a favor. Appreciate it.
He could actually be a dark horse, too. Like I said, he looks like $1 million, and that means a lot to them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they would have to do so much to fucking rehab that guy. Like I said, he has Kurt Hawkins syndrome where he just can't win a match.
He does, but if he comes out...
He's an Indian Glass Joe.
If he has a few definitive good matches, like where he just annihilates a guy, send out a Kurt Hawkins at first, then send out someone like a Heath Slater without the Rhino, and then send out some like impossible mid-card guy. And if you make him beat all three of them with a good, like just brutal beatdown, I think he could get a good push.
You know, I've always had a storyline in my head I wish they would use on someone who's been jobbing a lot. I think it could work and instantly rehab them. I would like some sort of legend to come in and basically look at one of these guys that, you know, somebody like Jinder Mahal who looks like $1 million, who they could probably make money with, and, you know, maybe like Bret Hart or somebody like this, and go, basically, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have all the talent in the world, and you're wasting it, and because you don't fucking believe in yourself, this, that, and the other, and he smacks him a few times, and then the next week he goes out, and he just goes on this fucking tear.
Yeah.
I would love to see some of them use that on somebody. I was thinking maybe back in the day about somebody like Dolph Ziggler, but no one gives a fuck about Dolph Ziggler anymore.
No,
nobody. Ridiculous. I cringed when I saw him come out on SmackDown. I was like, dude, I forgot you were even still on a contract.
I actually kind of did too.
But anyway, yeah, vicious elbow from Jinder to Finn. We found out later that caused a concussion.
Dude, I didn't even find that shit out later.
I knew something was wrong as soon as I saw it.
As soon as that shit happened, he hit him.
Because you saw when Finn fell to the ground, he didn't even brace himself for the fall.
He was knocked the fuck out. You could tell that shit. I was waiting for the dude from Friday. What is his name?
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, exactly. I was waiting for to run up in the ring and be like, bitch, you just got to knock the fuck out. But no, nothing like that happened, unfortunately, because it's WWE. But yeah, as soon as he got hit with that elbow, I was like, dude, he hit way too hard because Finn's arms were by his side, and he just kissed the fucking mat. I mean, his butt was in the air, and his head smashed straight into the mat.
He looked like one of those boxers that got one of those flash KOs.
Exactly. And I was like, man, and I mean, much respect for Finn for finishing that shit, because he had to know where he was almost immediately. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, with concussion, sometimes that confuses the shit out of you, and you don't know where the hell you are. He quickly snapped back in and was like, oh, fuck, I'm still wrestling. All right, let me hurry up and finish this dude. Drop kick to turnbuckle, coup de grace. And you could tell at the end of the match, he cracked his neck, and he started doing that thing with his mouth where you, like, taste something. You're like, it's metal. When you get a concussion, you can taste the blood, and it's metallic tasting. He knew he had a concussion before the match even ended. And that's whenever I said, yep, dude's got a concussion.
You know what I fear from that happening is
Daniel Bryan syndrome?
Well, not just that too, but Vince going, this guy's too injury prone, he's too small, we can't push him.
Oh, yeah.
And that could easily happen. I pray that this shit is something minor, even though from the shot he took, I'm not sure how it could be. But
and I mean, truthfully, that is not Finn's fault at all.
Neither was the first injury from Seth.
Exactly. I mean, you got caught in the back of the head by a vicious fucking forearm. Vicious. I mean, that dude threw it. Jinder, you needed to back off that shit. Come on now. You trying to hit people, but not really injure them. But I mean, he threw that shit with malice. I don't think he meant to injure him, but he meant to make a stiff shot. And then you turned your head and got caught in the back of the head, and it was just OT. You were over. I mean, out like a light.
So, the next segment, we get... after this match, not next segment. After the match, we get Bray Wyatt on the Titantron.
Watching Finn Balor.
Right. He says he's on Raw, and I'm actually not a fan of that. I wish he had stayed on Smackdown, but at the same time, I don't want to see any more Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton matches. I'm actually Randy Orton is starting to get into that Dean Ambrose category.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Orton. Orton, when I think about him in my mind, I have him in such this high level of respect. And then he comes out, and it's just like, another Randy Orton match. Like, God.
I mean, Randy Orton's great, but unfortunately, at this moment, it feels like Randy Orton is water that you're trying to boil in the microwave.
All right.
You go in and you're like, all right, water should boil in about a minute or two. So you put it on 2 minutes, go back over to the microwave, and it's still not boiling. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? So you put it on for another 2 minutes, and the water's still not boiling. And you're like, come on now. So you put it on 5 minutes, but just because you're like, I'm going to overdo this shit and make sure that it boils. And then it finally pops one little bubble. And you're like, okay, so I got to put it on for another 3 fucking minutes. What the hell's going on?
Orton to me is like when you wake up early. You know, sometimes you wake up early and like, man, I want to go get some donuts. And you go to get the donuts, and then the donuts are fucking cold, which I don't know about you, but to me, there's nothing worse than cold fucking donuts. Donuts are great when they're hot.
I hate anything cold. Dude, I hate cold pizza.
I actually love cold pizza.
Everybody loves cold pizza. I do not.
You want to actually know what is fucked up? You go to Little Caesars and you get a pizza, it actually tastes better to me if I just let that bitch sit out all night and heat it up the next morning if I were to eat it fresh. That's how bad their pizza is. And I know why their pizza is bad, though, because they fucking put way too much sauce on that shit, but that's here nor there. Okay, so Bray Wyatt says he's now on Raw. He tells Balor to watch himself because Bray is definitely watching him, which doesn't sound stalkerish at all. So, I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, with me, it's all right. It looks like they want to start something with Bray and Finn Balor, but to me, you still have Bray looking weak as shit because he just lost his championship, lost his rematch. No, he has the rematch already. on Raw. You can't have the WWE Championship on Raw as well. So it's going to stay on SmackDown. Randy Orton's going to win. But to me, that threat is empty.
I don't know. I guess I felt like Bray should have. I wish he could have had more programs as the WWE champion with people not named Randy Orton. And he'll never get that chance now. And another thing that I hate is because I believe that they're going to keep this belt on Brock for the foreseeable future, any momentum that Bray had from, finally getting over the hump and winning a WWE championship is going to be squandered, and he's going to slowly, he'll be at the top of the card, but ain't nobody beating Brock for that belt anytime soon, so he's not going to be able to, capitalize on that momentum. I don't know. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen a Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles program, but then again, at this point, you could throw AJ Styles in the ring with a fucking broom, and it would be an amazing match. I would have loved to have seen, really any match, any program other than what we got with Randy Orton, because it seems these days with Orton that he mails it in quite a bit, and I don't know, man. Like, I do think that the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match was probably the most disappointing match at WrestleMania. And I don't know who's at fault here, but I know the more Randy Orton matches I watched lately, the less enthusiastic I am about watching more Randy Orton matches. It seems like his best days are behind him. Well, I mean, that's not saying that he's a bad wrestler. That's just saying that I feel like he's melded in a lot of times.
It seems like Randy Orton himself has just kind of gotten bored.
Yeah, he always looks like that.
And I do agree with you with the whole Bray Wyatt on Raw thing, because Brock Lesnar's holding the championship. Bray's probably not going to get it anytime soon, because, we have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, or Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. We have a few different matches that could actually come before even a Bray-Brock Wyatt rivalry. And the thing is that they're not going to really have that, because Brock's not going to hold on to the championship for an entire year or 2 years. Maybe he does, but it's not going to be defended, I believe, against like Bray Wyatt or something, because I don't feel Raw would utilize him like that. I feel Raw wants to push Braun or Roman to beat Brock Lesnar before even Bray would be considered to beat Brock Lesnar. So, you have these big muscular people, or the person that they're pushing so hard to beat Brock Lesnar before even Bray Wyatt. So you've got Bray Wyatt for champion for, a month?
Basically.
And then he loses to Randy Orton, who won the defense at Royal Rumble, declined the defense, then decided to go ahead with the defense at Royal Rumble for Royal Rumble at the WrestleMania, so that he could try to get the championship. It was just, to me, it wasn't very well thought out.
No, it wasn't.
And it makes Bray look weak. If you want him to be dark, if you want him to summon the dark side and to be this entity, this god that he thinks he is, you are sure as hell making him look weak as hell.
Well, you've heard what they're calling him lately, right? The reverse Undertaker. Because he has winless at WrestleMania. He's 0-3 at WrestleMania.
Hey, and maybe that's what they'll make him. They'll make him 0-21, and then finally he'll get his first win at 1-21. He is the 1-21-1.
I don't know, man. There's, like I said, I think he'll end up drifting down the card.
And it sucks, because Bray is a good character.
He's an excellent character.
And he's got good charisma. He's got great, well, I wouldn't say great, but he's at least got good decent in-ring work.
Yeah.
He can work with anybody.
Yeah.
But it just seems like they don't really know what to do with him.
Well, his character is hard to work into a PG era, but I also think in a way that's a bit of a cop out because the Undertaker has worked in any era, and as hard as it is to say this, he's the closest thing to the Undertaker that we have left now.
And unfortunately, I mean, I'm not saying we need, but it would be nice to have an entity like Undertaker in the WWE. Because look at what The Undertaker has brought. Yeah, he might not be champion all the time. Yeah, he might not be the most dominant all the time.
But he was protected all the time.
And every time he came in, you knew some shit was going down. You knew there was going to be a great storyline to go with it. It was going to last for at least a while to keep you pulled in. It wasn't going to be cheap and cheesy. Granted, don't get me wrong, it was back then, so cheap and cheesy is kind of the way they went.
Yeah.
But with what they had to work with, it worked well.
I know what I don't want to see, and I'm sitting here thinking about some of the people that made the move over and some of the things that we've seen. I do not want to see another Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose match.
No.
Those were the drizzling shits. So, I don't know, man. I think Raw... They made a lot of bad, like you said. I think Smackdown got the better of a lot of these deals.
Oh, definitely.
I think Raw, they got a lot of guys that we've seen feud already, and not that long ago because they, like I said, the WWE is very overexposed right now. So we've seen a lot of these matches, and I'm in no hurry to see a lot of them again.
Well,
I don't want to see Bray and Roman Reigns again. I don't want to see anything like that.
R is for two different things. R is for Raw, and R is for recycled. Because the feuds that I see coming are recycled feuds that SmackDown already exploited, worked their way through, and discarded. And moved on to nicer things. They were like, yeah, Monday Night Raw, we can go ahead and do this superstar shakeup. You can have our junk. Here you go. We already did this about 6 months ago. You can have it. We'll take some of your superstars, and we're going to do some amazing things. Because as we will find out later, I think they already did amazing things for Sami Zayn.
Another thing is, SmackDown was as good as it was, and a lot of people after the draft were saying that SmackDown got the shaft. So if they were doing that well, as far as the writing team and the pace of the show, with less talent, what are they going to do now with actually a more favorable roster?
Kevin Owens, Charlotte.
I mean, dude.
You've got shining stars coming in, looking fantastic. But we'll get to that when SmackDown comes around. Let's finish up with Raw.
Okay, so we got next Miz and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Good back and forth match. The Blue Thunder Bomb is amazing. I love that move. That move's awesome.
He does a great job no matter almost what side. And don't get me wrong, he's not going to do it against Braun or Bray or Big Show.
He hit it on someone that he shouldn't have. He hit it on Samoa Joe, and I was shocked he did it.
Yes. And that's people to that size.
I don't think he can go much bigger than
that. No, I don't think so either. And it looks fantastic the whole way. He could try it on Braun, and it would probably look ugly as hell.
I doubt he can get Braun up. Braun, you know they overestimate with the weight, but I bet Braun's a legit 340, 350.
Oh, definitely. Braun is a big dude. But we'll get to that later, because, granted, but, let's keep going.
Maurice caused multiple distractions in this match. Maurice pulls on Sammy's leg. The ref turns his back. Bad handwriting again. Miz attempts a skull-crushing finale, and Sam wins via another distraction roll-up.
And even though the distraction was against Sami Zayn, it was still a distraction roll-up, which is kind of cheesy, because it's like, come on now.
It was a good match, and it was ruined by that. Like, they can't... I hate those finishes. Here's the thing. I think instead of doing distraction roll-up finishes, why not just keep guys away from each other? That is something that I like that WCW did back in the day, way more than WWE. Here's the thing. If somebody wins a number one contenders match, I don't want to see them fight 3 times leading up to the pay-per-view.
No.
What WCW used to do was someone wins a number one contender match, and then that person faced someone, and this person faced someone, and they would keep them apart. They would keep them both strong and keep them apart until the pay-per-view.
Or they would have one dude do a match, and then after his match, he would win, of course. He'd be like, yeah, I won. And then the other guy would come out and cut a promo. Oh, you think you're going to win this Sunday, huh? And it was cool with that, because at least you weren't getting involved. But everybody's getting involved in shit these days, and it's like, come on now.
I'm more of a fan of keeping people apart. So you want to see the match. So people both get to look strong. I don't like when we have like the Intercontinental Champion losing off a distraction roll-up, when they do shit like that. I don't think that you should be dropping matches on TV if you're a champion, because it just makes you look weak as a champion.
I mean, whenever it comes to the pay-per-view, you want the best of the best.
Absolutely.
The champion versus the best contender, not the contender who got a nice little distraction roll-up and happened his way into this match against a champion who got distraction roll-up pinned by this other guy who's not even in the fucking match. I mean, what's going on? It's a waste. It's not gladiators.
I understand why they do it, because they want you to have a little bit of doubt about who's going to win the match. I just don't agree with the strategy. Keep them apart and make me want to see the Irresistible Force versus the Immovable Object.
If it's a distraction roll-up, make it that this guy, the champion, is facing some random dude, and you come out and cut a promo, and then the guy gets pinned because he's all focused in on you. I would rather that than Maurice interfere just because she's the Miz's wife. Sorry. Why is she out there every match, bro? Bro, every match. She is out there at ringside. Why? I understand she could wrestle. She did at WrestleMania. Why not put her in some women's matches?
Well, I don't think she wants to wrestle, but I do think that she's been positive toward The Miz since she got back, because he, like I said, he can thrive, but he needs a certain type of situation to thrive.
Well,
and he's thrived more since she's been back.
Before Maurice came back, if you remember, Miz was trying to be a face.
And he's not a face.
No.
He like TJ Perkins, has a very punchable face. No one wants to cheer for the Miz.
Exactly. So, even without Maurice, I think the Miz could be a great heel. I don't think Maurice should be out there.
With the right opponent.
Exactly. But I don't think Maurice should be out there every fucking Miz match.
I disagree a little bit with that, but that's just me. I think she's much better with him. He's much better with her around. Not to mention, I love looking at Maurice.
Well, yeah, everybody likes to look at Maurice. She's a sexy diva. But the thing is, still, you have a match of a man versus a man. And every single time, this man has to bring his wife to the side of the ring.
Yeah, I'm still with that, though, because go back to WCW again. I've been bringing WCW a lot up tonight, but look at Hulk Hogan when he was Hollywood Hogan back in the day. He could not win a match straight up unless the NWO was involved in the match.
That still irritated the piss out of me with Hulk Hogan.
It's irritating, but it's supposed to be irritating.
And I understand that, and that's cool with me. I get the irritating, but I still think that if Miz wants the whole "you're going to respect me" type shit, then he's going to have to lose Maurice. But if he's fine with "I've got my wife to help me in every situation," then he's great at that too, because he really is. Maurice is an asset in that situation.
I don't think he actually really believes that he's going to be respected as a great in-ring worker with his wife at ringside. I think that he knows the deal. It's to get heat, and
that's fine, and that's cool with me. But
and here's the thing: even if he didn't, here's the thing: it would be different if AJ Styles had a valet like Maurice, because AJ Styles can put on a bombshell match without Maurice. The Miz, with or without Maurice, The Miz has a certain ceiling as far as his in-ring ability.
In-ring ability / a distance he's willing to go. Because I think part of that is that The Miz doesn't want to be injured.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also think that he can't go to the level. He can't do the flippy shit.
No.
So he can't do it, but I think it's a combination of those. He's not.
But he could take some of those shots. But if you see Sami Zayn about to go over the top rope, and Miz was like, "Let me put Maurice in the way," and it's like, dude, can you not take a front flip over the top rope?
He could take it, but he's not going. Like it's more of a heat thing. I don't think it's him being lazy.
I would hope not.
I think it's a heat generator.
I like the Miz. I really do. I like him as a heel. I love Miz as a heel. He's a great heel.
I think he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
I think he was, especially. I think he's been white hot since September. I just don't know if his ability to work is what you need for somebody at the top of the card. Like I think these days, it's not like in the 80s, right? We could have Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior at the top of the card who really weren't that great in the ring. I think these days people kind of expect you to be able to work a certain way.
Well, that's also due to technology and stuff. Because, I mean, you see different stuff. Back in that day, I mean, the biggest move people did were fake karate chops and shit. Right. So a big boot was a big deal. But nowadays, it's like we go to movies and we watch TV and these people are doing front flips and stuff like that. Bitch, you better be able to do some front. I came here to see Jason Statham fight. Bitch, you better fight like Jason Statham. And unfortunately,
I think it's even more simple than that, dude. Look at, why would you be impressed by Batista doing a Batista bomb when you got, in the opening match of some indie show, someone going out there for 25 minutes and putting on a barn burn? You see 40 super kicks in the match. Why would you be, if you see 40 super kicks at a match, why would you be impressed by one super kick to end the match for Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a certain work rate that you need, and because this stuff's so accessible, not like it was in the mid 90s when before the internet really got to be a huge thing. Now that you can look and see, you can literally watch a Ring of Honor show and then 2 seconds later flip on the WWE Network and watch NXT.
Yeah,
you're going to notice vast differences.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, I think the average fan of the smart mark is going to be much less keen on accepting someone like The Miz at the top of the card because they're going to go, well, look at all these guys who were better than him in the ring.
Yeah.
Why are they not champion?
Yeah.
So that works against The Miz. But I actually think, had The Miz stayed on Smackdown, I think he would have been in line for another WWE title run.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's been that high lately.
Oh, yeah. And I'm hoping that Raw continues with that momentum.
And I don't think they won't. No, it won't.
And I don't think
we just discussed that. We just discussed it with Bray Wyatt. He's going down the card. The Miz is going down the card. But like I said, I think he would have been in line for a WWE title shot. And I also don't think that would have been the case had Maurice not been by his side. Because he's just been a fucking heat machine.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why, that's one of the reasons. I really think this is probably the best stretch of his career as far as being on my TV and me liking what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anyways, we got to move on from The Miz.
Yeah, this is going to be a much longer podcast than
Man, I'm cool with that. It's whatever. We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. These people can listen or not listen.
Roman Reigns interview. So, this happened next.
No, continue. Fuck the Roman Reigns interview. Let's just go ahead and get to the actual action, because who actually focused during the Roman Reigns interview?
I was halfway watching.
I was halfway watching too, but that's only because I knew what was coming up next.
I didn't. I was actually interested. Let's just hit this up real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So this happened backstage, which I thought was smart because I did not think that they wanted him out in front of a live crowd after what happened last week. Although this crowd was comatose for most of the night, so I thought that was a good idea. But when we saw how the crowd was, it probably wasn't necessary. I thought that
you don't want to take that risk because they might have come alive just to go, boo.
Well, I mean, even if they had, it was like maybe, a quarter of what it was last week as far as raucousness.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I thought that's why they did it. But then, what happened later in the segment, we got to why they did it. He cuts a babyface promo. So, to Triple H's bullshit about him being a heel a few weeks ago, shut the hell up.
Well, he cuts a kind of babyface promo.
It's
babyface, but it's like he's putting a little bit of pepper on it.
Heels are not sorry for what they did to an opponent, ever.
But Vince McMahon's slow burn heel could be sorry.
You're giving him a little too much credit.
No, Vince McMahon's man was Undertaker. For him to have his new man not say sorry to his old man is like a spit in the face. Vince McMahon loves Taker. He loves him to death.
Absolutely.
So for him not to tell Roman to apologize is not Vince McMahon.
I don't think there's a full burner. I don't think there's a bigger plan. I just think that they want what they want, and they don't care what you want because fuck what you're talking about.
Buzz in. So you notice now all three members of the Shield are on Raw.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit. Honestly, I don't really care about the Shield right now.
Okay, buzz out. Continue on with the run.
Anyway, he cuts his babyface promo, and then Braun Strowman attacks. And we get a running power slam on some piece of equipment there. And I thought, okay, well, this will be the end of the segment. And no, it was not. It was far from the end. So we get another piece of equipment that he shoves into Roman's face and chest protector. And I thought this was the end of the segment. I was like, okay, well, we got a little bit of aggression here. And it was not. So not only that, we get Roman shoved off the edge of a concrete cliff after he's put on a stretcher. And this was obviously, I don't know if you caught the jump cut there.
I'll let you continue on. I'm going to let you finish your whole little thing.
But I caught the jump cut when I watched it again, because I watched it a few times. There was definitely a jump cut where you could see where they had filmed the angle backstage earlier in the day. But I didn't catch it the first time. But I knew that they weren't dumb enough to fucking push their top star off of a concrete cliff. So, anyway.
The second watch. Because you were like, okay, something happened here.
Yeah, well, I knew something happened when they never actually showed Roman's face. And then when I watched it again, you can see the jump cut. And then, so I thought that would have been a perfect end to the segment. Because that was like, it reminded me of an Attitude Era type Ruthless Aggression era assault.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that would have been a perfect end to the segment.
But no, wait, there's more.
Then we got cheesy. So, Braun comes back into the picture when Roman's being loaded onto the ambulance and says, I'm not done with you. He starts to punch Roman Reigns in the face. Okay, I'm still with it here. So then, he gets out of the ambulance, he shuts the door, and he proceeds to, what we're led to believe happened, is Braun Strowman, a 6'8", 6'9", 385-pound man, tilted over a 10 to 14,000 pound ambulance with his bare hands. Get the fuck out of here. There's no fucking way that happened. And like, I don't think that's me being a grown man looking at that and going, get out of here, dude. I think I would have been able to call bullshit even if I was like fucking 15 years old watching that. There's no fucking way that happened. But even when you watch it the second time around, you can actually look, and if you look at the back on one of the camera shots they show of Roman Reigns, you can actually see him get out of the back of the ambulance. You can see his feet on the bottom left hand of the screen, and you can see his shadow, and you can see him walking away from the back of the ambulance. I thought this was a good segment, actually a great segment, ruined by a fucking corny finish, and I did not like the finish. That's them taking something good like they usually do and overdoing it to the point where you're like, oh, fuck off. So I started out loving this, and by the end I was just like, oh, God. So let's see what my co-host thought.
Okay. I agree with the end, like, being way too corny. But, unfortunately, I pretty much just love this segment. I mean, Roman Reigns got the shit beat out of him, which I really needed to see. Because he's been on way too big of a hot streak for being booed so much. I need him to see brought down a peg. Sorry. It's just how I am. But the running power slam, all the way up to then, was good. Him taking the gurney and throwing it off the little concrete parking deck, of course it was an obvious thing to me. As soon as I saw that shit, I was like, nah, bro. Roman Reigns ain't even on that gurney.
and did he not fall? Like, when he got thrown off, he fell one way, right? But when they came back,
he was faced a different way. Exactly.
You know when they caught that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there because I'm very in-depth. Like, I catch the small botches sometimes.
Right.
And I get picky about that shit. I don't call it out in here. Granted, this is only the second episode, so there's probably more that I will call out of small botches. But I see that shit. And I was like, nope. Because your camera went fuzzy, quote unquote, before he got thrown off the parking deck. I know what happened here. You quickly switched to what you filmed earlier. And so you throw this dummy off the parking deck, which, as a grown-ass man, I understand is fake. But as a fan of WWE, I'm going to let slide. Because you know what?
It didn't ruin it for me.
Exactly. It wasn't like a complete obvious fake, but because I'm intelligent and I have common sense, I knew it was. I just went with it. And then they pulled where they were looking at Roman on the overturned gurney that just got thrown off, and I'm like, guys, did y'all not go back and watch the footage? Because obviously his gurney was not faced this way with him facing towards me. And he was facing away.
Even that didn't ruin it for me.
Exactly. I stayed fine through that. I was like, you know what? Cool. Whatever. I'm going to go ahead and write this other story up in my mind where the referees turn the gurney over for some odd fucking reason with Roman Reigns still strapped in. And I'm cool with that. And then they load him into the back of the ambulance. And I'm like, all right, yeah, because he needs to go to the hospital after, quote-unquote, being thrown off the platform.
No, not the hospital. They never go to a hospital.
No,
they don't go to a hospital. They go to a local medical facility.
Oh, yes, definitely. Look, so the veterinarian clinic, and I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, because he's hurt a lot. Granted, he has no concrete burns on his face. He's not cut up and bleeding because this isn't the Attitude Era.
And he's wearing a chest protector.
He's wearing a chest protector. But I'm cool. I'm still cool. I am buying in. And then Braun's like, I'm not fucking done yet. And I'm like, all right, beat his ass some more. So he walks in and he punches him 3 times. And I'm like, that's all? And he's like, let me look around, make sure that the driver's out of the vehicle, the passenger is out of the vehicle, there's nobody in the back with Roman. Okay, we're cool, we're clear, okay. And I will say, I am fucking impressed. Because for the whole first camera shot, Braun, you got that car further up than I would, than me, and I'm pretty sure my co-host would. And I was impressed. And then it cut to the second camera angle, and I was like, I could see you struggling. I could see where you were like, nah, bitches, I gotta let this ambulance down because I didn't expect it to be this heavy. And so you needed probably like the Big Show and somebody else to come in and help you get it back up to that height, where all you had to do was just give it a good, and it would fall over. And you know what? Because I was drunk, I said, fuck it. I'll give you an A+. My co-host may not have been drunk. I don't think he was.
No, I wasn't.
I was. So, if that gives you any convenience, I mean, I was drunk and I was like, you know what? Woo! Go go, Braun! Big man on campus! But my co-host was sober and was like, no, y'all just went cheesy. So, I mean, you can grade in between those two.
And
it's cool.
Not only that, but when you tip something over, right? When gravity finally catches it and it's going to fall, it usually, like, especially he struggled to pick it up. And then when gravity catches it, it'll fall, like, at a decent pace. This kind of just laid over, which further took me out of the moment and go, okay, well, whatever was helping him push this up is also keeping this from falling down and looking natural.
It should have rocked. It should have at least rocked. But, like I said, I was drunk.
Yeah.
So there is a high possibility.
I think that if you were drunk, then you have something in common with whoever came up with the last part of this.
Bro, it is possible. They were probably like, hey, you know what? Instead of him pushing this ambulance over and being like, roar, he should be like,
you know what
did I disturb anybody?
You know what I thought was going to happen when he went back to the ambulance? I thought he was going to kick everyone out of the ambulance and just drive off. I would have been perfectly happy with that ending. Just drive off, and then you just left to your imagination.
Yeah.
Where the hell did he take Roman? Is he still kicking the shit out of him with him strapped to the stretcher? But they had to go full on B-movie corniness.
Well, they had to demonstrate Braun's strength.
You can do it in a lot of different ways.
Here's the thing. It would have been great if it was all one shot. But because they had to break the shots, it's less believable.
I'm supposed to believe Braun pushed over an ambulance when he couldn't do a running power slam to the Big Show the other week.
That's what I'm saying. If it would have been one full shot from start to finish, I push this bitch over instead of I get it up to a certain height and then the camera cuts behind the ambulance and then they pan around me to see me all the way extended up, I would have believed it. But because I was drunk, I gave them the pass. I said, you know what? I'm going to hit you with the A anyways. It's not going to be an A+, but it's going to be an A.
Here's what I will give them an A+ on. And I've been very negative, it seems like, but I will give them an A+ on even doing something like this, because things like this are actually what the product is missing. That type of viciousness is what the product is missing, because you can't get invested in a character unless something dastardly like that happens.
Yep.
And that brings me to the point that I was going to make about this petition. There is a petition on change.org for Braun Strowman to be fired from the WWE because of his actions on Monday Night Raw. And someone wrote basically that, we thought Braun Strowman went way over the line, and we the WWE Universe, don't take too kindly to this, and he should either be traded off of Raw immediately or fired from SmackDown. And I was like, dude, way to get worked by WWE. You were exactly the type of fan that they want.
This is to all of those pansy-ass bitches out there complaining about Braun. One, this show is a TV show. It's like any other TV show out there. It's not all real. Please get over yourself. Two, if you feel the need to have a petition, please go shoot yourself in your living room. Because truthfully, you're not who we need populating this planet. You need to grow the fuck up and understand fake is fake. Storyline is storyline. Please stop your petition and keep on your own fucking lives and stay out of our business. Thank you, all wrestling fans. Back to you, Frankie Wrestling.
Dude, I think that thing actually had, last I saw it, had 1,300 signatures. And it was going for 1,500.
That shit's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
These people are idiots.
And you know that it's not all, granted, some of them have to be kids, but you know it's
unfortunately, there are adults out here who take shit like that and they're like, oh my god, that shit's real. Did you not see the last Resident Evil? There's zombies over there in Umbrella City. And we're like, bitch, there is no Umbrella City. Calm the fuck down. They're like, yeah, there is. Did you not see it on the big screen? And that makes us all roll our eyes and just leave them the fuck alone.
By the way, did you know that there's two Santa Clauses? There's a white one and a black one. Did you see them at the mall?
I did not.
During Christmas? Yeah, they're real. And there's a white one and a black one. So whichever one fits your ethnic background.
Bro, the only one that fits my ethnic background is Krampus. I want all them little stingy ass kids to be kidnapped and taken off.
We should see the Easter Bunny this weekend.
What?
You know,
Easter's coming this Sunday. That's right. I had somebody at work sit there and be like, oh my god, I forgot Easter was Sunday. Could I take off? I'm like, yeah, fine. I mean, if I need to work their hours, I'll work their hours. I don't care. Shit, I ain't got nothing to do.
I actually got an open house to do Sunday.
The only relative that I have that actually keeps in touch with me is my mammy. I mean, don't get me wrong, me and my sister, we're cool. Me and my brother, half-brother, we're cool. But we don't talk that often. We don't keep up. So, I mean, he sure ain't no big thing. But this ain't no personal shit. Let's continue on with WWE. We just finished with Braun Strowman fucking the shit out of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, so to summarize that last, I liked it up until the ambulance tip. I hated that part, but I do love that you guys tried to do something different. I will never knock you for doing something different. All I ask is that next time you do something like this, please don't add the last bit of corniness in to make it cheesy.
I mean, if you can't do Braun Strowman tipping over an ambulance in one shot, don't do it at all. Because
the thought of him tipping over an ambulance in general is just...
It is, but tell me the truth. If you would have seen it done in only one shot, would you have been more impressed?
No, and the reason I say that is because it's not fucking possible. Here's the thing. If they were going to do it with anyone, they should have did it with Big Show about 15 years ago. I could kind of get into Big Show.
He tipped over a Jeep. But here's the thing. Big Show wasn't...
It's not a fucking ambulance,
But
bro.
Big Show wasn't in competition with, like, fucking Mark Henry for World's Strongest Man. He was just a big fucking show.
Well, here's the thing. I can believe Big Show doing that because of the stories you heard about Andre. And Andre was strong as shit, and Andre never fucking tipped over an ambulance. And here's the thing. Big Show is nowhere near the size of Andre, and Braun Strowman isn't the size of the Big Show.
But he's a lot bigger.
I'm supposed to believe he was...
Dude's swole. I'm sorry, but
I mean, that swole.
He's a
big dude. He ain't fucking tipping over an ambulance.
He's more swole than Big Show. Big Show might have a six-pack, but I don't sit there and look at his pectorials and go, motherfucker, this dude can sit there and lift up a fucking school bus.
Big Show is also, in his mid-40s now?
Bro, that don't matter.
Okay, who you got? You got Big Show from 96 or Braun Strowman right now?
Braun Strowman right now.
Fuck off. There's no way.
Big Show from 96 was a big dude.
Yeah.
But he wasn't swollen. He wasn't cut.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I'm not kidding you at all.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, are you talking WCW?
I'm talking 1996 when he first debuted Big Show. When he was in shape.
I'll have to go look at him, but I still don't think he was cut.
I'm talking the Big Show that was in shape enough to not only do a missile drop kick off the top rope, he also was able to sell a fucking perfect plex.
Here's the thing.
450 pounds. There's no fucking way.
Big Show did that drop kick off the top rope. Braun Strowman does it from the mat. Two.
He can do it from that too.
That's not what you call the order. I will have to go look at this Big Show to make sure. But I do believe that Braun Strowman dude's massive, dude. Dude's fucking massive. And whenever I remember Big Show from like WCW and shit, he wasn't cut like that.
dude, you're not remembering the right Big
Braun
Show.
Strowman has like fucking dining room tables for his pectorials. They are fucking massive and cut, and you know this dude's gonna fuck some shit up. Big Show to me.
This is dude. He was able to fit the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. He was that cut.
Okay, yeah, he looks a little bit better right there. Okay, I can see that. It's going to be a close match. But I'm still Braun Strowman.
No, I got fucking Paul White all the way.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Big Show, I love you. Like, seriously, you are awesome. But I think Braun Strowman was still, like, beat you in your prime.
That dude was a fucking freak. Like,
yeah, he was.
I'm saying, like, no. Here's the thing. Braun's big, but he ain't 7 feet tall. He is a legit 7 feet tall, and at that time, he was a legit in shape. You shouldn't be able to be 7 feet tall and have that damn title fitting around your waist. That's insane. He was muscled, dude. He let himself go literally like a year later.
And maybe a little bit of that is construed because of the attire he wore. I didn't get to see how cut he really was.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he never took it down back.
Exactly, and I'm still like a big Braun Strowman fan. That's just my dude. So I'm gonna hold his back every time, no matter who you put him up against. I'm gonna be like, nah, Braun Strowman got his ass.
Like I could see. There was a point in the early 2000s where the Undertaker was literally furious at the Big Show because he was getting lazy about managing his weight. And it's like, look, dude, you got all these gifts that these other people would kill for. And you're not able to manage your damn weight. And it was pissed to take her off. Take her around the damn locker room.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that dude, when he was trying, he was the shit. But the thing is, as far as weight, he wasn't trying. He was more often than not, he was not trying. And you get a few, like less than a year later.
Because at that size, in your head, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say what he thought, but to me, in your head, you're like, dude, I'm this big. Nobody's going to be suplexing me.
Right.
Nobody's going to be doing some, spectacular moves on me.
But they could have been. And like I said, that fucking perfect plex he sold for hitting, I was stunned when he was able to get him up.
The whole world was stunned. I was stunned.
But
I'm not taking away from Big Show and what he could have done back then. I just still think Braun Strowman.
I don't know about that.
I mean, looking at Braun in the ring, how fast he is, what he can do, I just think, to me, the Big Show they had back then, or at least how they marketed him, wouldn't have compared.
Yeah, I think it was more marketing, dude.
I mean, as far as size, dude, that's a coin toss to me. But how they market them, Braun Strowman all the way.
I'm at that. We're talking specifically like 90s, because like literally within a year to year and a half to 2 years, he started putting on more weight. Like there, he was probably 425, 430, somewhere.
And yeah,
within a year, they were already marketing him at 500 pounds.
I'm talking. You take an average. What Braun Strowman has been since. I'm talking even the Midnight Express Braun Strowman. That Braun Strowman. And what he is now, that whole little segment, if you average that, I think that Braun Strowman would be better than the averaged Big Show.
Oh, yes. And that was what I was saying, because Big Show... If Big Show had tried to keep himself in the shape that Braun Strowman walks around in, it wouldn't even be close. But that's why I specifically said 1996 Big Show when he was still trying.
And that I would give it a coin toss. I wouldn't say yes, Braun Strowman. I would be like, you know what, that would be one fucking hell of a match. But if I'm going, who you picking? Big Show or Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman all the way. Because
we're talking about that specific time period. I'm Big Show all the way.
And in that specific time period, that's fine. That's cool. But if you were to average all that, I'd be like, you're full of shit, bro.
Yeah, he got to where especially if you look at like old pictures of him from around, like I want to say 2003-ish. Especially 2003-ish was bad. 2003, 2004, and then the ECW run where he just got out of control. I think they cut him because of his weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it was just ridiculous.
It's just at that point you didn't care.
But at the time, there was nobody like him.
No. And I mean, and like I said, love Big Show to death because I really do. Big fan of the Big Show, but I think Braun so far in what I have seen him on TV has stayed the same, or at least gotten better.
Yeah, he's gotten better. He definitely has.
He's gotten more cut, gotten more strong, and it just seems more of a firmer thing. Now, granted, if you get Braun Strowman the same career span as Big Show, maybe it lines up about the same. Maybe Braun lets himself go.
Yeah, he definitely will. He's also older than the Big Show was when he started. Big Show was in his early 20s, I want to say.
And that's possible.
I want to say Braun's already like 33 or some shit like that.
I don't have my phone. My phone I threw over there because I don't want to turn it on. So
I'll look it up later. But yeah, I want to say he's past 30.
But let's move on from that segment because we've been on that for a minute now.
Yeah.
8-man tag team, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Shining Stars in the club versus the Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yep. Of course, I am a Hardy's fan. I have been since I have seen them from their beginning till their end.
Yeah.
Whenever that may be, I will always be a diehard Hardy's fan. And I thought the match was great.
Well, first things first, what the hell was the Drifter doing out there?
Yeah, I was like,
I know there've been rumors of him coming to the main roster.
He's going to be on Raw.
I don't see why.
And I don't either.
He actually had no impact in this match, right? Like they showed him walk out.
He appeared at the beginning of the match.
What did he do? Just wander around the crowd? Like,
no,
what did he do?
He was walking by the announcer's table.
And then what did he do after that?
Walked off. He drifted away.
See, I heard that he was wandering throughout the crowd. I don't know if that's true or not.
He might have been, but not anything that I noticed.
Yeah, they didn't show it on camera.
And they didn't show it on camera. They didn't cut away from the tag team match
to
be like, oh my God, look at Elias Simpson. He is wandering through the crowd. Look at him go up the stairs.
That's a really weird segment. I hadn't seen much like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you hear? I don't know. I'm a big entrance music buff, right? They fucked with the Hardys' music a little bit.
Yeah, they did a little bit.
Okay, because I thought maybe I was on when they caught that because I can remember when they fucked with Brock's music a little bit too. And
I think they're gonna stick with the broken type stuff, bro.
I think they're still trying to work out a deal with TNA.
They are, but you notice, I mean, as soon as the Hardys' music hit, yeah, Jeff Hardy's doing his eccentric stuff, but I think he does that all the time anyways. That's just Jeff Hardy. He's just, yeah, fuck this music. Woo! And then you have Matt Hardy, he throws in his version 1, and then he throws his arms out, and you see him immediately go, delete! And everybody in the crowd's like, delete, delete, delete! I mean, they know what's going on. You can, even if TNA wanted to squash this, they couldn't.
Oh, they could.
No, because the crowd will make it live on forever.
Well, that was what I was about to get to. What if they take too long with this deal and it dies? Everything has a shelf life.
You would think that, but Daniel Bryan has not wrestled in how long?
But Daniel Bryan's also on TV doing that every week.
He's not every... Okay, yes, Daniel Bryan's on TV, but so are the Hardys, and Matt's still doing it.
He's doing it to a point. He's not doing it enough to...
That's all that matters. You do it once, and one person sees it and starts going, delete. Then the rest of the crowd's like, yeah, that guy's right. Delete, delete, delete. All that matters is a spark of it to be made.
I was reading something Justin Roberts said. He said he got told not to, because you know he's coming out with a book soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
and he got told by Vince not to. He would start off shows basically by saying good morning to whatever city they were in, right? And we get a big pop from the crowd.
Yeah.
And Vince told him to stop doing that. He said because crowds only have a certain amount of pops in them per night.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I mean, it sounds stupid when you first hear him say that, but he's actually right.
Yeah.
They also only have enough give a fuck in them for a while.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a case in point of that, look at how long people wanted something to happen with Dolph Ziggler. And it didn't happen, and it didn't happen, and it didn't happen. And now, people don't give a fuck about Dolph Ziggler at all. And that is my fear with this whole broken thing. That even though they're still doing it now, and it's still wanting it now, we live in a fucking instant gratification society. And my fear is that if, say, they get the rights to it in 3 months, what if it's not as hot in 3 months as it is now because people got bored of fucking wanting to see it and not getting what they wanted, which was what they saw in TNA.
And I mean, I can understand that, but I also see the fact that as the match happens, when they first come out, the match is going on, and the match ends, there's still the chance, delete. And I understand it's for now, but to me, that gives me hope.
Yeah, the Jack Gallagher mustache, you saw that.
Oh, but that gives me hope because the crowd's still behind it the whole way through. And I think
there's a honeymoon phase right now, too.
But I also think that the crowd is ready for that. I think the crowd's like, look, we'll fight with you. We're gonna pull it to the WWE. If TNA fucking likes it or not, it's who you are. And that's who we are going to accept you are.
We'll see, man. And here's the thing. They can't, it's not going to be, they were at an indie show. WWE let them finish up a few indie dates.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing the whole broken stuff at the indie dates. Well, now there's no more indie dates. So, not only until this whole TNA thing is resolved, are you not going to be able to see it on WWE TV for the most part? You won't be able to see it in any indie thing.
I don't know what WWE TV you're watching.
No, I'm talking, that's the honeymoon phase right now. We'll see if they're still doing that. And like I said, in 3 months, if they haven't gotten the rights.
In 3 months, yeah. I mean, if but see, I still see Matt Hardy, not even unfortunately, but being defiant. I see him as, this is what I made. This is me. And he comes out and he goes, he sucks up to WWE or whatnot, and he throws up his version 1, and he's all Team Extreme, and then he throws his hands out, and he's all top row of teeth, and then he throws that one arm out. He doesn't do it anymore. I can see him doing that till the time they get cut.
I can understand that, but I'm saying if you can't do it all the way, it's gonna. Here's the thing.
But doing it a little bit is enough for that crowd.
But not winning. Dolph didn't do enough winning for people to give a shit about him.
But they're winning.
For years of losing.
They're champions.
I understand that. But you're missing my point here. A little bit of winning for Dolph didn't keep the fans into him long enough for them to give a fuck when he got a title shot last August for SummerSlam. But here's the thing. My point is, if they don't get this done in time, will the fucking shit have passed it by? Because they're in the honeymoon phase right now.
But they're champions. There's the whole difference between Dolph and the Hardys.
No, I'm not using the winning thing as a formula. I'm saying the shit passed Dolph by. Will the shit pass this by?
I don't think
What's the honeymoon phase?
Because they're still the face of the tag team championship. There is no other singles match or other tag team match that gets on Raw and they're not a part of it because they are the tag team champions. Dolph Ziggler was a mid-card who would make it on Smackdown from time to time if he had a good rivalry, but he would get skipped over if it wasn't good enough. They are the tag team champions. So I don't see them losing them next.
Well, at the time I'm talking about here, Dolph was the final survivor. This is the Survivor Series with Sting debut, remember?
But that wasn't...
Dolph was the last survivor.
He was the last survivor, but he was not what was important.
No, he wasn't. I'll argue with that.
He was not what the point was to be pushed. Yes, they were like, hey, you know what we could do? We could make Dolph Ziggler the final survivor, and maybe that gives him a good push to get him over. It was a coin toss, heads or tails. Dolph Ziggler makes it or he doesn't. But we got our point across. We got the actual motive push. If Dolph made it, it was on him. And it was on the booking. And the booking and him, they didn't match up. And he didn't go on to superstardom. But that was not the motive. Dolph hasn't been pushed. And it's unfortunate because Dolph is good. But I think that is the distinct difference between Dolph and the Hardys. Because not only are the Hardys the big thing right now, the Hardys were the big thing back then, and they will always be the big thing. If they leave the WWE and go back to the Indies, it's the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, but no. Like I said, I think that there's a something to striking while the iron's hot. Yes, they could go back. I don't know how long the deal is. Maybe say the deal's 2 years, right? And say they're not able to do the full-blown broken thing that we've seen. Will it be as hot as it was a year ago? I don't think so. I think once you catch lightning in the bottle, like they did last year, it's going to be hard to get back to that level.
I think that during whatever contract they have with WWE, Matt will push the broken thing. No matter how small, it will be pushed. Even if it's just his, yeah! It's still the broken thing, because he didn't do that before the broken thing. It's still keeping that spark. And if the WWE run ends, and it wasn't the biggest thing, they immediately will go back to it. Because I think Matt doesn't have a problem, and Reby doesn't have a problem with the lawyers in TNA. They're like, come on then. This is what we made. We're going to do it.
I don't know. Like I said, I would be interested. I'm going to be real interested to see if it works out that they can't get the rights to this stuff fast enough. Will they stay as hot as they are right now? And in my experience, most things don't. Most things tend to die out. The exception of that being Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan stayed hot, and he continues to stay hot. Like he got. I don't know if you saw during that opening segment on Smackdown, but he got just as big a pop as the main eventers did.
I mean, he got as big a pop as Nakamura. Everybody in the crowd, yes, yes, yes. And I mean, and that's not, they do it on Raw. He's not out there. Stephanie's out there and calling some bullshit, and everybody in the fucking crowd's going, yes, yes.
I think the reason that that's so popular too, also not just because he is, that has a lot to do with it, but it's such an easy thing to chant. It's like the 10 shit. The 10 shit, yeah. The 10 shit ain't going away.
No, never. Ty Dillinger, you struck gold.
Just like what? You still hear what today?
You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. They tried doing it with New Day. Instead of New Day Rocks, it was New Day Sucks. It's easy to do. It's an easy thing. And as long as it's an easy thing and it's catchy and it's quick and you don't have to spend much energy doing it, most people will fucking do it.
So, yeah, like I said, that's a lot of... I think he hit the perfect storm ranch, and it's
perfect storm with the perfect 10. Ty Dillinger. It sounds like a fucking romantic comedy or something like that shit. Anyways, let's continue on. Shit, I'm getting sidetracked.
This was another showcase for the Hardys, though, as it should be. Twist of Fate. Jeff hit his Twist of Fate into that stunner thing where it looks like he botches. I hate when he fucking does that. Leave the Twist of Fate to Matt. Matt does it way better.
I think that's why he does the whole quote-unquote botchy one, because Matt does the original Twist of Fate, and Jeff just kind of redoes it.
I don't think, here's the thing, I think if you're selling that, I don't know if you know which way to sell that, because I don't think he knows going in.
Maybe
I've seen him do it like Matt, and I've seen him do it the little botchy way.
Well, I mean, unfortunately.
So I think you just got to figure
might
it
be
out
on some pills when he goes in there.
Come on, I just don't think Jeff became who he was because of his daredevil mentality.
He did.
Not because he was the greatest worker in the world.
No. And that's cool with me. I've always been a Jeff Hardy fan. I've always been a Matt Hardy fan. But when it came to it, I was a Jeff Hardy fan. I was a Matt Hardy fan.
Like most people were.
And most people
Until the last few years.
Exactly. Matt Hardy, you kind of, you brought yourself up, and then you brought Jeff up along with you. So I appreciate you for that. Much love.
And kudos to Jeff for when Matt got hot, he didn't get jealous. He went right along and played second fiddle to his brother.
You were a great brother when you needed to be a great brother.
Absolutely.
And that's a hard thing to come by. Because a lot of brothers, whenever they see you doing hot,
would get jealous.
And they'll take what you got and they'll try to make it better. Mm-hmm. And it's all about them. But he just sat there and was like, you know what, Matt? This is a great thing you got going. I would love to be a part of it. Let's do this shit. It's a family thing. And that's another reason why I love the Hardys.
Yeah.
Because they are, throughout whatever shit they went through, or throughout whatever greatness they went through it together. And they were there for each other. And that's one reason why I do appreciate the Hardys. And that I wish the best for the Hardys, because that's what people should aspire to be. If you've got a sibling, that's shit that you should aspire to be towards your sibling.
Absolutely. That's supernatural type of brotherly love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, so we got the Twist of Fate and the Swanton for the win. Good old school.
And again, the Swanton bomb not looking like what Jeff Hardy used to do.
He landed it like he did last week.
Exactly. I mean, straight body to body. There was no just shoulders and head. It was straight body to body.
Knock all the wind out.
Just, that hurt.
Anyway, for the next segment, we have Dana Brooke in the back with Emma. And Emma wants to continue the alliance that they had about a year ago before Emma got hurt. Dana Brooke basically says that she knows she sucks, but that she will be doing things on her own. She says she's making strides, which is debatable, but,
she's fucking the right person.
Yeah. And she needs to be in NXT, but, I guess this was supposed to be Dana's, I'm officially a babyface, so please cheer for me.
Woohoo! And I got muscles.
I guess she did the whole, what was it a few years ago? Domino's, right? Where their whole campaign was, all right, look, we know our pizza sucks, and we're going to try harder.
Yeah.
That was Dana Brooke's promo, basically, here. By the way, Domino's has gotten a lot better, I will say that.
I will be honest, I normally catch Raw on Hulu, so that is one segment I did not catch. I'm happy that you informed me about this.
And anyway, she ends up walking away from Emma, and Emma looks pissed that, she didn't reform their alliance. The next segment I have here is Sasha Banks' segment. Sasha introduces Bayley. Bayley thanks the fans for supporting her. Typical Bayley shit.
Yep, of course.
And during this whole love fest, Alexa Bliss's music hits to a big pop. And I was actually excited but mad because I didn't want her off of Smackdown, but I like Alexa Bliss, so it's all good.
And I think that this is a good place for her to be.
Yeah, especially now that Charlotte's gone.
Exactly. If Charlotte was there, it would not be good.
Because she'd be playing second fiddle to...
Exactly. But because Charlotte's gone, Alexa makes a very good heel
And
to be on SmackDown.
Alexa, wrestling chicks like Bayley and Sasha will get her. I mean, she's not on that level, but she can get better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By wrestling those chicks, so I definitely like that. Actually, you do know that Sasha and Alexa are not really big fans of one another, right?
Yes.
And like legit shoot.
Yes.
So watching them kind of interact is interesting. I would love to see them work a program with each other.
Definitely. I think that's going to happen sometimes in the near future.
Do you think? Okay.
I do.
I don't know because I think
Sasha. Bliss.
I think Sasha's turning soon, personally, but that's very.
I don't know because I think that if she was turning, I think they would have done it already.
No, I think they're waiting. I don't think they're waiting to get this shit out of the way. I think within the next month or two, Sasha's turning. I think she's going to turn on Bayley.
Well, I mean, anybody can turn on Bayley. You could be a face and still turn on Bayley and still be a face afterwards because Bayley is like a face times 2.
Yeah. I think Sasha works better as a heel.
She does.
So I think that it's about time. I think that's coming.
You could also have a heel versus heel type thing.
With Lex and Sasha?
Exactly.
No, if you notice, everything
Alexa's are going to be like, I'm the boss, and Alexa comes in and be like,
I can see
nah,
three
bitch,
ways.
I'll run the place.
I can see 3 ways or potentially 4 ways. Because, I mean, that's what they love to throw women in these days.
Yeah.
But anyway, Alexa and Sasha's interaction was cool. Mickey James' music hits during all of this. And Mickey is now on Raw. She got a decent pop. Not like Alexa, but she got a decent pop.
A lot of glitter in her hair. Mm-hmm. A lot of glitter.
Oh, man. Dude, I was looking at Mickey, and Mickey's still attractive. You know, she's closing in on 40, isn't she?
Yeah.
Still an attractive chick, but man, I miss Mickey's booty, man. Her booty's gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's got the 40-year-old booty.
Yeah.
I mean, she really does. It's kind of like, it lost the little pop that it had. It's just kind of like, I'm there, but I'm not really there. You know, I'm taking some days off. It's cool. I got a vacation.
We put in our tenure. That's something to take it easy.
Exactly.
Our middle age.
It's like we don't have to have this extra roundness. We can just have some.
She looks like she's been hitting like the gym and lost a little bit of it.
Well,
she got that lean greyhound look, dude.
Based off of how Monday night went, it looks like she got hit by a gym.
That's what we're getting to next.
Oh my god!
So in the middle of Mickey's promo, Nia Jax steamrolled Mickey.
Man,
I swear she flew about 5 feet in the air before she hit the ground.
If you played that shit in slow-mo, it was probably like that scene from Austin Powers where he's about to roll over that dude with the steamroller. Right. The guy's like, no! But he doesn't fucking move. I'm pretty sure Mickey James felt like that.
It reminded me of that hit Ron put on Raw a few weeks ago.
Exactly. Mickey was out.
Yeah.
Gone.
She was better than that.
TKO. Mike Tyson just bit her ear off.
Alexa shoved Sasha into Nia's wrap. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was fun. I was hoping, like, when they showed the wide shot on the hard camera, and I saw Alexa standing behind Sasha, man, I was like, dude, just shove it. Just fucking shove it.
And that's perfect heel shit to do. It's great. She, even moving to Raw, she stays heel. Yeah. And she stays good at it. She sometimes, to me, gets a little bit too smiley with her heel stuff. Like, she's laughing about it whenever she needs to be serious.
That's because she's too attractive. Like, she
is. But to me, it's like...
And people want to cheer her. Like, you heard her say, I don't need you. But she had to say that because she did too much of a vibe.
Exactly. And to me, it's like, part of that is because you give that little bitty smile when you're going to say something witty, and you know it's witty, but you can't be fucking a bitch about it. Alexa, you are a heel. Be a bitch about it.
I think it's because I think the crowd is utterly bored by the classic babyface. I think if you're not at least a tweener,
dude, they're cheering for AJ Styles like a babyface.
Has no use for you if you're a classic babyface.
Yeah, except if you're Bayley.
I don't know, dude. You heard Bayley getting a little boob bar she read that poem a while ago?
Well, that's just because WWE's making her fucking corny.
Well, that character, how much of a shelf life does that have?
It has a pretty good shelf life as long as you don't make it corny.
Here's the thing. That was Cena's character for years and years. And when people were booing him year one of his face turn and they still pushed him for another 13 years.
It's still years and years of Cena.
I know, but I'm saying.
There's going to be plenty of young women who still aspire to be Bayley. Bayley is the women's John Cena.
I understand that, but there's still little kids 7, 8 years old that love John Cena, but by and large, he's booed by people in the know. Now that doesn't mean he's not popular,
and that's fine.
I don't want Bayley coming out here cutting these face promos like you see Roman Reigns do.
Exactly.
And getting booed though.
I would rather her cut good, clean face promos.
And I actually heard Kevin Owens say this in an interview a while back. He was talking about when he first got to WWE, and he was talking about how his character was just, he's a huge dick. But everything he said he does was for his family. And he was saying the characters with the most layers are the most interesting. And I was like, that is absolutely fucking right.
It is.
And if you look at a character like Cena, he doesn't have any layers.
No. Cena is just Cena.
I would love to see the Bayley character evolve to have layers.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it could.
When you're overly nice, that's all you are, and you're overly positive, there's nothing to you. But we have seen in the past with NXT, Bayley get vicious.
I think that needs to be shown.
It does. But unfortunately, you know how WWE is. They're like, oh, Bayley is the babyface. Well, we're going to have Stephanie McMahon call her just Bayley to make her look like she's the ultimate baby face.
Look what happened to Apollo Crews when Apollo Crews came up and was just.
I'm happy he got switched because he needed a start. Oh yeah,
like that shit's death. Like you can't do that long term. You have to have some layers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway, Sasha gets wrecked. Bayley gets wrecked. Mickey got wrecked on the way to the ring. And Nia holds up the title and says it's hers, basically.
Then you have a little stare down with her and Alexa. And Alexa's like, you go on. I'm good. You good. We all fine. I didn't do shit to you. And Nia's like, all right. I might come for you later.
By the way, when Nia walked past Alexa looked like one of Nia's toys. Like, it was ridiculous, the size difference.
Yeah, if her and Nia ever got into a fight, I would fear for Alexa. Sorry, I know you love her to death, but Alexa I would think, get, destroyed. At least in reality.
Yeah.
In WWE land, maybe not.
All right, you're going to have to, you're going to have to, by the way, I don't know what kind of notes you have on the main event, but you're going to have to explain that one. Because I was kind of so disgusted with it, I didn't write anything down. Anyway, we got the Roman update. Roman has, quote-unquote, cracked ribs, a separated shoulder, and internal injuries.
Yeah, he was bleeding whenever he got hit by the box thing, like when Braun threw it into his face. Mm-hmm. He was bleeding out the mouth. Granted, it stopped a foot from his face, so I don't know really what they had in place there to actually stop it from hitting.
Yeah, I was trying to look and see if I could.
I was too, but I couldn't find anything. They did a good job at hiding it, but I knew something was there. But yeah, pretty much main event. I mean, it was an okay match. Dean versus Kevin. Kevin's going to make any match look pretty good. It's what he does. Let's see. Oh, Dean actually won clean.
I know.
And that was crazy.
And you know what? Dean actually, if he can't beat anyone, he can beat Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And he can beat Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, whatever. And then they have Jericho interrupt the match. Not even interrupt the match, interrupt afterwards, come out after KO. It's like, why didn't you have him be like, write the walls down? And Kevin Owens be like, what the fuck's going on? And then get hit by Dirty Deeds. I'd be fine with that. But you made him lose cleanly. And then Jericho comes out. And it's like, okay, so you come out just to hit him with a code breaker and be done with the damn thing. Okay. Woo! I was not really enthused.
No, I wasn't either.
I was just kind of like, whatever. See you in the Raw. Cool. Now I get to go play some video games or something. Because I'm taking notes and shit and I have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about doing a podcast.
Right.
All right, so now that we've already done Raw longer than our entire podcast the other day, we get Kevin Owens to open Smackdown, and I actually missed the first part of his promo, so I don't know if you heard what he said.
Pretty much he was just good at pulling heat. Talking about how he's going to be the new, it's the new KO show, Kevin Owens show, and all that other stuff, and that how he was the face of Smackdown and the face of the USA, and
Face of America.
How it's a shame that he's from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and he's the face of the USA, but blah, blah, blah.
I think I heard him take a shot. He said, I forgot none of you speak more than one language.
Exactly. Well, yeah, he started saying something in French, and everybody was like, what? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you people from the United States can't speak more than one language, so let me translate it for you. And, yeah, I mean, he's always good at pulling heat. Kevin Owens.
Great on the microphone.
Is great on the microphone, and it's nice to see. I like him on SmackDown. I think he'll do a good job.
Owens is great on the microphone, which is why who came out first was not the best person to come out first, in my opinion. I know it's your boy.
I know.
But Baron Corbin's music hit.
I even have that wrote down. I have Baron Corbin cuts in, and he needs to work on his speech.
He comes out cutting a robotic promo as usual.
I'm happy that Sami Zayn cut his ass off, really, truthfully, because Baron, I really like your style. I really like your just beat the fuck out of people's shit. But, bro, you need to put some gravel in your voice. I mean, you talk like way too much like this the whole time, and you need to just lower it a little bit. Put some, I'm just gonna fucking kill Dean Ambrose, or you can make it gravel or something. I mean, a little bit more threatening, but
make the promo your own, man.
Exactly.
You don't have to speak in robotic fucking. I don't need to hear the beeps and boops emanating from your mouth.
And that's, I mean, I love his wrestling style. I love his entrance even. I love how just nonchalant he is. Like, he comes out and he's just sitting there rocking out to the fucking music that's playing, because it's some great music. I love his entrance. And he's just like, fuck yeah, this shit's awesome. But then whenever he speaks, you're like, bro, shut up.
You would think they would have figured that out and not let him speak as much as possible. You know, kind of like they were doing with Nakamura. You could tell last week they were obviously
they were nervous
let him
about
get on the mic.
Yeah.
And then he said 2 fucking words basically this week. And I think it's smart for them to do that. They should think about doing that with some of these other guys that are not great on the microphone.
And we will get into Baron Corbin's promo fucking later, because I have some shit about that. I am not impressed. Not impressed. Baron, come on, man. You were in high school. You are a fucking football player. I know you played football in high school because of that shit. I know you picked on some kids. You had to be able to threaten some shit. You had to be able to pull out the fucking band and say some shit. But you say shit in the same... Never mind, we're going to get into that later. You go on ahead.
Sami Zayn music hits, and he is the newest member of SmackDown. And not too long after, AJ Styles music hits, and AJ is easily got the biggest pop.
Yes, definitely. For the person who they were pushing to be an extreme heel, as like almost 180, he is almost the face.
Hey, check it out. The fans decided it was time for him to be cheered.
Yep.
What a novel idea.
Yep.
Don't you think if they used that logic with someone on Roman Reigns, and the fans had decided that it's time to boo this guy, you know what? If they had turned him 2 or 3 years ago, Reigns, they could have already turned him back face and probably have him being cheered by 90% of the audience.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Anyway, what I took away from the segment, Zayn's over. Owen's face when Zayn's music hit was fucking, he was stuck.
He sells everything great.
Yes, he does. Even the small things about Owens would make him great.
It's the side effects. It's the little, like, camera cutaways that he's not even, like, the big part of. It's music or somebody saying something. His facial expression still is with it the whole time. He's not just like, oh, let me do it for these first 3 seconds and then just don't care.
I could feel, like, you could feel the fucking, I've been trying to get away from this fucking guy for 15 years.
He was literally screaming, no, what the, no. I mean, you're like, yes, I understand. You really don't want Sami Zayn to be on Smackdown.
And AJ Styles is super over. That was the last thing I got from this segment. So
oh, yeah. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan had to come out. Big pop. I still wish they would put Daniel Bryan back in a match at some point.
I do too, dude. I didn't realize how bad his shit was, though.
I understand, but he's been cleared by other doctors besides WWE.
Yeah, but did you hear about the seizures he
had? I heard about that.
Did you hear about the lesions on his brain?
And I heard about that too, but he's had a lot of time off.
I understand that, but lesions on your brain, that's rough.
Yeah, I get it.
And you got a kid now, dude. You're like, fucking worry about a kid.
Exactly. I mean, as a human being, as a person, I'd take the general manager's spot all day. But as a fan, I would love to see Daniel Bryan get back on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he comes out and he's like, you know what? Even though Kevin Owens has to defend it against Chris Jericho for Raw, whoever wins this triple threat match will be #1 contender. And so we got AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin for the main event of SmackDown Live.
I love how they try to work their way around the fact that whoever wins between Owens and Jericho is going to be on SmackDown. Dude.
Yeah.
We know who's going to win the match.
Yeah. Unfortunately. WWE, you do not have a good record of hiding things.
And the thing is, and again, I fucking hate part-timers, but if Jericho wasn't a part-timer, it wouldn't be so obvious.
Yep.
But, it is what it is. Anyway, so that match is made for later. We get the WWE Champion leading off the show.
Woo! Randy. I'm the only person doing that right now.
I thought this was a so-so match at best.
It sucks because you got the WWE Champion going against a jobber, a #1 jobber. I'm sorry, but I don't really know many matches Eric Rowan has won at.
No.
At least singles-wise.
His whole thing is, I'll take the pinfalls for the Wyatt family because Bray Wyatt can't lose.
Exactly. At least I'm part of something bigger than myself. And, of course, we all know Randy Orton's going to win. Granted, it was...
And that goes to not keeping, what we talked about earlier, keeping your job guys credible.
Mm-hmm.
When does Eric Rowan win when he wasn't hurt? Never.
Exactly.
So, of course, we know he's going to win this match.
And the thing is, granted, Randy won by DQ, but we all knew it was going to be a win by some means.
Mm-hmm.
And just because Bray Wyatt wants to cut his little video promo and be like, oh, I still have my house of horrors, ha 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 ha, and no matter where I'm at, Randy, I'm going to be on Raw or SmackDown. I'm going to haunt your dreams and blah, 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 blah. And then he gets hit by some stairs. And it's like, really? I mean, if you were going to have Eric Rowan be on SmackDown and you wanted him to be somewhat credible, at least make him win clean/dirty. Hit him with the pump handle slam and for the pin. Even though it was a distraction on the Tron. It's a win. It's a clean win-ish. But no, you still fuck over the jobber who you brought back for what fucking reason? To be Kurt Hawkins? And that's a fact.
I got a question. Where does Rowan go from here?
Exactly. What does he do? He's not on Raw.
Like, does he get repackaged or?
He's not a Wyatt family member, but they still call him a Wyatt family member. Why?
I swear to God, if he shows up next week and him and Luke Harper are tagging again, I'm going to be furious. Luke Harper needs to be pushed as a singles guy.
Dude needs to be pushed towards at least the Universal Championship.
I'm glad he didn't switch brands.
No, not Universal. Sorry, I meant United States. But if they push him towards WWE title, I would be even happier.
Yeah, I would too.
Because, I mean, the only reason why I say U.S. title at first is because I don't think they see him as the main event.
I don't either, even though he clearly is.
He really is. He's a great, talented guy. And he could do anything, really, that they wanted to do with him. If you want him to be this weird, creepy dude, he's doing it great. If you want him to sober up, clean up a little bit, have his hair a little bit more aligned or whatnot, his beard trimmed, fine. He can do that too.
I think what they should do with him is they should have him completely abandon the look he has now. And like completely repackage him into, he needs a new, if he had a new gimmick, with his talent, if he had a new gimmick where like, say we know him as this crazed guy that he's been, and like repackage him as this like fucking, like, almost like this regular business type guy.
Kind of like a Damian Sandow. Not as goofy, but kind of more proper.
Yeah. Just because compared to what we've seen from him,
yeah,
almost like the transformation that we saw from Bradshaw to JBL.
Yeah.
And it happened in 1 week. He went from fucking drinking to fucking I have a cowboy hat and suit on.
Oh, yeah.
If we saw some shit like that, it'd be good. It'd be hilarious, but it'd be good, and then you still got the talent that Luke Harper has.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, getting back to this match, fucking Randy got busted open at some point in that match. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And he actually, I saw him feel his head, and I saw him mouth the word motherfucker with a smile. I started laughing at that.
And dude, that's how he's always been. He did it to Kofi when Kofi fucked something up in their match.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been very, you fuck something else up, I'm going to say something about it and fuck you up for it.
At least he seemed to be smiling, because when he went off on Kofi, he was shitting his pants.
Yeah.
So I think he's somewhat, I don't think he's still a dick at times, but he's somewhat mellowed out from.
Yeah.
I mean, that was almost 10 years ago.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, after this much time and this much money, he's like, whatever.
Although there was an incident that happened in Jonesboro not too long ago.
Yeah, but
that was, I mean, there was old Randy still in there, but.
Oh, yeah, I mean, of course he's always going to be in there, but I think at least with the people he's working with nowadays, he can just kind of let some of that shit go.
You see what he put on Twitter after that happened? It said something to the extent of, me and a fan got into an altercation. That shit's been happening for 15 years. What else is new? Or some shit like that.
And that's good for Randy. It's just a quick blow off.
But anyway, we got next match was American Alphabet versus the Usos. And is it me or whatever momentum American Alphabet is just dumb.
Yeah, I'm kind of like not interested.
Not at all. And I was very interested when they were in the NXT.
The only thing I could see saving them is Shelton Benjamin coming back.
Oh, I would love to see them get traded to Raw and then have to be work with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
That, but.
Oh yeah, but because they're still stuck on Smackdown, the only thing I could see them saving them, Shelton Benjamin.
You think Shelton Benjamin good?
I mean, I know Shelton Benjamin's coming back. He's healed from his recovery.
Right.
So it's not too long before.
Did they ink him to a deal? Or?
Yeah, they actually inked him before he got injured at an indie event.
Okay. I didn't know if they inked him or they were going to ink him and then they discovered he was injured.
But yeah, supposedly he should still be coming back, which I would hope is a good thing.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin's very athletic, very good. Being part of team.
He was the last time we saw. He's like over 40 years old these days.
Yeah, but I mean, if you do this for a living, you don't really lose it. It's like a bicycle a little bit.
Maybe he's undefeated though.
Yeah, mean, I could see him maybe being a good mid-card.
Yeah, there were people I heard talking about him winning a world title. I was like, oh, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I don't see that, but I do definitely see like United States run or something, and at least helping mentor the American Alpha. I could even see him helping them mentor them towards like being a heel.
I could see him being a straight chop guy at this point.
Yeah, I would hope not, because I like Shelton.
I do too, but I mean, look at the roster now.
Yeah.
I can easily see him coming in and they're going, okay, we're not putting him over guys like Rusev. We're not putting him over Luke Harper. We're not putting him over a ton of other guys that got on their roster. He's a job guy at that point. If there's only like 3 dudes on the roster, they put you over, you're a job guy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, American Alpha lose to the Usos. Good back and forth match.
Yeah, I thought it was competitive.
Oh, yeah.
It missed a lot. I missed a lot because I was working, on some real estate stuff. The Usos pick up the win, and the Shining Stars attack American Alpha after the match. And that was, to me, that was the thing that I popped the most about the match. I didn't really, like I said, I was working for a lot of the match, didn't see, just a ton of it. But that finish, that power bomb into the backstabber, that was perfectly executed, and it looked fucking vicious. That was an awesome finish.
Oh, yeah.
Go with that.
If that's the Shining Stars we're going to see, I hope they keep it during the match, and it's not just we interrupted after the end of the match and we performed our good finisher. I hope that they keep that viciousness during their actual match work.
You know what I think that finish would be better for? I think it would be better for someone like Enzo and Cass. I'm going to tell you why. If you have Cass delivering a power bomb onto Enzo, and you got that added height dropping onto the knees, the thing about the Shining Stars, they're not big guys, so they can't do that finish to everybody.
But here's the thing. I don't think Enzo's legs could handle it.
You're probably right, but more for Cass. You could probably get someone other than Enzo, but I would love to see Enzo try it for a while. But yeah, you're right. I don't think his legs would hold on to him.
No, I don't think so at all. Because unfortunately, Enzo, I don't think you're like that buff to be able to handle it.
I don't think he's long for the wrestling ring. I think he's
a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he'll be the mouthpiece or announcing within 3 to 4 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mojo and Jinder.
Jinder my balls, fresh off of hurting Finn Balor
with that fucking forearm. Damn it, dude! You need to calm down with your roided out ass. Possibly not, but I think you are.
This was whatever match. It was just background. The finish of this match was for them basically to do almost the exact same thing they did at WrestleMania, which was Gronkowski at ringside. Jinder my balls gets out, starts to jaw jack with Gronk again. Only this time Gronk throws his beard in Jinder's face. And not the other way around like we saw at Mania. He could not have hit him more square in the face with his beard. I mean, a beard. He got all of it.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing.
Like, fucking, there was no, because, like, when Jinder hit him at Mania, he got him, like, in the shoulder, face there. He got dude perfectly.
When Jinder threw the beard, he threw it, like, cup into Rob. Rob threw it opening of cup into Jinder. And it was, like, all over. Mojo couldn't even grab a hold of him because he kept slipping off.
Right.
Because of the beard. He was like, just, bitch, get your ass inside. Let me punch your ass out.
I hope Jinder got his eyes closed in time. I know his eyes would have been burning if he didn't.
Oh, yeah. But I still like Mojo's finish at this point. That is a brutal-looking right hand into the corner.
Is that what that was? I couldn't tell what it was, honestly.
Well, I think partially because the camera work was pretty shoddy right then. But, yeah, his thing is pretty much instead of a haluva kick, he just hits him with a running right hand.
I thought he was using a pounce for a while.
He was, but it was kind of dumb looking.
Yeah.
So, truthfully, the bounce off the ropes and run and just slam somebody in the jaw, it looks a hell of a lot more vicious.
It sounded off, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mojo does the Lambo leap into Gronk's arms outside the ring. And
I was impressed by that, truthfully.
I was too, but I don't want to be jumping into another man's arms.
No, but unfortunately, that's how football players are sometimes. They like to, good game, smack each other on the ass.
Yeah, it looks better when you're in football pads. It doesn't look as good when you're in wrestling trunks and your junk is flying at someone.
Yeah, maybe not. But when it's your best friend and your emotions are running high, what are you going to do?
Are they really best friends, or is WWE milking the celebrity?
Hey, you know what? Who gives a fuck? WWE.
I think that's the theme of this segment is who gives a fuck?
Exactly. Who gives a fuck? At this point in time, we're just throwing shit at the fans.
So anyway, that's the end of that. Good one for Mojo, I guess. He's obviously still being pushed. We'll see how that turns out for him. Is this even considered a feud? Does it go on from here?
I hope not. I hope Mojo moves on to more.
Just who? I don't know where it goes. I feel like they might be going on with this for a while.
Possibly. But
I hope we've seen the last of Gronk in this feud.
Yes. You need to go back to off season. Do your tight end shit. Sorry.
Yeah, go run fucking curl routes for the hoodie, please.
Exactly.
Anyway, Shane's out, and he thanks all the stars that left for Raw, and he invites out the entire women's division.
All four of them?
Yeah, right. The newest additions to Smackdown. He hypes up the first newest member of the roster, and he makes it sound very much like someone else. And then Tamina's music hits to zero reaction. No one gave two shits about Tamina Snuka.
Even Jiminy Cricket didn't scratch his leg. It was just like, okay.
And I felt bad a little bit for Tamina, but not really. Because, come on. What is your favorite Tamina match? Don't worry, I'll wait. Anyway. Shane then says, maybe you thought I met someone else, and he introduces the real gift for SmackDown, which was Charlotte Flair.
Now, before that, I will say, I did enjoy the little segment between James Ellsworth and Naomi, when Naomi scared the living shit out of James, talking about she would, wait 1 second, what did she say? I got it.
Called him a side chick.
Yeah, and she said she would chin check him. Bitch, he don't have a chin. And
that's the point.
She jumped at him, and I don't know if to me, it looked legit like he thought she was about to hit him, but he ducked. He turned away no, don't hit me in the face.
I don't really care for Naomi on the mic. I think she overdoes it a little bit.
Oh yeah, she forces it.
And I don't like that. It's not more than anyone else does.
Yeah.
I just wish there were times that she didn't say some of the stuff that she did. It's not as smooth as I would want it to be when she's on the mic.
Yeah.
And the big thing about this is I heard a lot of rumors about Sasha coming over too. No Sasha. And I was actually surprised by that. I think I don't see how Charlotte's not the champion within the next 2 months.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That women's division is all hers.
Oh yeah. She is going to run that women's division for a while.
I'm actually not interested in any Charlotte versus Becky Lynch matches, even though I know it's probably what's going to take up most of the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I've been, not to the level of Dean Ambrose or Randy Orton, but I've been kind of low on Becky Lynch lately too.
I've been low on Becky Lynch for a while now. Ever since she started her quote unquote straight fire.
Yeah.
That started to irritate me because all it was you took way too much time to celebrate you doing a running forearm to the turnbuckle, which had no potential to get a 3 count. I could understand if it was a segue to a quote unquote secondary finisher. That would be fine with me. If she hit quote unquote Sami Zayn's blue thunderball.
Right.
But you are hitting someone in the corner with a forearm. I do not see fire coming from that. I might see a bucket of water.
But John, her hair is orange. I don't know if you knew
hit the Exploder into the turnbuckle, and I'm better with that, you calling it straight fire. But a forearm into the fucking turnbuckle?
I think the hierarchy of the four horsewomen, right? You go Charlotte 1 as far as in-ring ability. Then I think it's a toss-up between Bayley and Sasha.
Oh yeah, they were close 2 and 3.
And then Becky 4.
Yeah. Becky just rounded it out because she was friends with her. I don't know if we had this conversation on the podcast, but it's like X-Pac in DX.
You think?
Yes. I think it's just because she was good friends with all of them, and they were all close, and they were like, yeah, you'll be the fourth horsewoman. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Becky's got a lot of try hard and a lot of will, but I don't think she has as much quote-unquote talent.
See, you know the weird thing about that whole situation is Charlotte's the best, and she's been doing it the least amount of time. Ooh, that's what's crazy to me, is that Becky was doing it, then took time off, then started doing it again. Sasha, one of the guys I watch, or used to watch, I don't watch him so much anymore, but it's Joe Cronin of the Joe Cronin show. He actually went to wrestling school with Sasha Banks. Like, he was in the same wrestling class as her. And she started out, I want to say, in the late 2000s. And I think Bayley, I don't know, I'm not sure how long Bayley's been doing it, but I know she was on the indies for a while.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's been doing this shit for what is it, not even 3 years or right at 3 years?
Yeah, about that
something
long.
dumb like that. And it's picked it up so quick and it's gotten so good at it. It literally is ridiculous how good she got so quick.
Yeah. And I will be honest, from the moment that I saw her at Ric Flair's retirement WrestleMania match, she has changed so much.
I'll do more than I saw an old WCW clip with her in it. It was where they were trying to, hype David Flair up back in the day.
Yeah.
And they actually went to Flair's house, and she was in the background, and you can see her she looks completely different.
Oh yeah, and it's a plus. But yeah, definitely different. But yeah, happy to see her on Smackdown.
Absolutely.
I think she's going to do positive things.
That is her divisional run. I think by the time she calls it a career, I want to say she'll probably get between 11 and 15 title runs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like she's gonna.
She's already got 3 or 4.
Yeah, she's got 4 women's championships and the Diva title, so they'll end up just combining those in less than about 3 years. So, but again, talent-wise, it's warranted.
Yeah.
It's not we're going to shove this chick down your throat because her last name's Flair. It's warranted.
Oh, yeah, she does a wonderful job in the ring. And truthfully, I wasn't a big fan of hers on the mic for a while.
But she got better quick.
She got better real quick.
And she's a much better heel than
And I'll be honest, for some odd reason, and I'm not going to say for some odd reason, but on SmackDown, whenever I saw her come out, she just looked so beautiful. I mean, just how her hair and how it was blue, and it just, the camera angle, I guess, and she looked amazing.
Here's the thing about her, right? She's a decent looking woman.
Her ring gear could change to help her look a little bit better because it makes her look really squarish.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She doesn't have the most feminine looking body, and I don't think it's the ring gear. I just think that's how her body is. And I'm not saying she's managed it all. It's feminine enough to where it's not like a dude.
Yeah.
But she almost looks like a volleyball player.
Yeah.
She's got a volleyball player type body.
Yeah, she's got a little booty to her too. I mean, just saying.
But she looks like a beast. It's feminine enough, but she still looks like she could fuck most of those chicks up in a fight.
Oh, definitely.
Like a shoot fight.
Catch me outside. How about that?
So she looks the part, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, happy to see her on SmackDown.
I am too. I think she can have really good matches, and like I said, that's her division to run when she wants to.
Oh yeah, definitely. We learned that Sin Cara and Rusev both were going to be.
Rusev, I'm very happy about. Sin Cara, who gives a fuck?
I didn't care about Sin Cara, but unfortunate thing is, at the moment, I don't care about Rusev because apparently he's injured and not going to be back for a Rusev's good to have, but it depends on how long they keep him out.
Did you notice? I think he just got surgery or some shit like that. So
yeah, but I also heard that they were pissed off about his whole quote-unquote handsome thing.
Yeah, I mean, that he's had heat for forever.
Did you notice that the picture they presented of Rusev
was the one with the
long hair?
I was going to ask you, did you notice that they presented Rusev and Lana separately, making me think that Lana's getting in the
wrestling? Yes. That's for later on whenever her promo actually cut. I had that right there.
Damn, that is a fine ass woman.
Oh my god, that whole promo is just awesome. But anyways, we go from that to Aiden English.
Yeah, he alluded to the fact that Simon Gotch got a shit canned. I was surprised that he did that. Apparently, there was a tweet floating around. I tried to find it, but apparently he was happy Gotch is gone. That's fucked up when your own tag team partner is not a fan of you.
Well, I mean, what if you think that that's the reason why you were getting held back?
That's true, but I mean, I get the sense from what I've been reading that a lot of people are just not fans of him personally, Simon Gotch. I liked his look because it was unique and nobody else was walking around looking like that. But if he was a dick, he was a dick.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get rid of what you got to get rid of. But yeah, he's going back to his Aiden English, the artiste.
Yeah,
singing his songs about
which
the best.
Instant heat.
Oh yeah. What you want to see the best in WWE? That's how he always used to say it in fucking NXT. Except he got interrupted by the perfect 10.
Lots of 10 shots.
Ty fucking Dillinger.
Over like Rover.
I am so happy he is finally off of NXT. He has deserved it. I think he has worked his ass off. Absolutely. He has become great in the ring. He has become great on the mic. And he is over with the crowd. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish I'm still irritated at the fact that he does not come out and when he's doing his whole little dance in the ring, throwing the tins out, he doesn't pull out his fucking sign.
I noticed that.
I want him to pull the fucking sign out.
It's obvious to me that someone told him not to do that.
Exactly.
He was doing that up until he got called up.
And I'm pissed off that they stopped him from doing that because I like that.
I do too.
It is self-promoting. It is self-confidence.
Not to mention,
at its finest.
They had people in the audience with fucking signs that he would pull out. So
exactly.
I mean, that's another thing, a chance for merch. Not that they don't.
Maybe they're just like, hey, you know what? We'll wait till the next pay-per-view, and then we're gonna let him pull out his 10, and then he'll pull that out from now on, and then we'll make him come out in his LED little outform that he.
Vampire.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And Ty, please drop that. I'm just saying, I like you. You're great. But please drop the LED little vampire outfit. It's not attractive. Or very appealing.
10 shots everywhere. It was a quick match. It was another showcase for Dillinger.
It was a solid win.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm feeling like a little bit of a push. I'm like, hey, maybe.
I wonder where this is going to go.
Exactly.
How far it can go.
Because the 2 matches he's been in, he's been performing at top levels, hitting them with the.
They've been total showcases for him.
I mean, just showing off Ty Dillinger, and I like that they're doing that for Ty because he's been working at it, and I think it's something that, you know what, he's ready for, and it's good for Smackdown. It's a good change.
And again, we already went over the Rusev, the Sin Cara, and the Lana.
Oh my God, Lana. We'll have to go into that because the whole fucking video was provocative. Mm-hmm. I mean, the little silver sparkly thong, granted, I saw that was attached to some leggings. Don't get me wrong, I didn't see that, Lana. I didn't see that wasn't all your skin, trust me.
I love that Lana's fell backwards his anal.
I do too. But Lana, you're just beautiful in and of yourself. And Rusev, you are one lucky Bulgarian brute. Mm-hmm. Because, woo! Lana, Jesus Christ. Lana. as Eva Marie, please just stop quickly and go back to being with Rusev.
Here's the thing. I don't even care if she's bad, to be honest. I don't expect her to be great, but I don't even care if she's bad.
I don't expect her to be great. But truthfully, if you are Eva Marie bad, I'm sorry. Just stop. You have a better thing going as Rusev's wife and being at the side. And that's cool with me because I see you enough because you come out when he comes out. And that's fine with me because most of the time he comes out every night. But if you go into the ring and you are botch fucking city and I cannot stand to watch you perform with another diva, I'm sorry, but I can't. No. I don't care how good you look. You're not doing a bikini contest. You're not doing some weird stipulation where I get to see you in your skivvies. You're doing an actual wrestling match. And if you can't wrestle, you don't need to be wrestling.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think that she can't be near as bad. We've lived through. If I can live through Rosa, whatever her name is,
Mendez,
then I can live through Lana attempting to wrestle. Listen,
and that's,
if you can stay employed at a place where your job is to be a pro wrestler, and you win one match in your entire career by disqualification,
and that's fine. But I don't want her to be Kurt Hawkins.
Who, Lana?
Yes.
Lana, no, she won't be Kurt Hawkins.
Because she just got this big old promo where she was wowing us in this sparkly silver thong and all on a chair provocatively and giving me a kiss through the TV screen. And then all of a sudden she is Kurt Hawkins facing the facts that she is never going to win.
Lana's too cute to be Kurt Hawkins, one. Secondly, she's too old to be Kurt Hawkins. I think that Lana, I mean, come on, we won Lana champs not that long ago. And
they were.
And I think she'll be okay if she's passable.
And that's the thing. I don't want her to be not passable.
I think she'll be fine.
And that's
she's actually been training for this for a while.
Okay, and that's fine with me. That's why, unfortunately, with me, there is still the nervousness because it's like I have not seen you in a match.
Well, here's the thing about somebody like Eva Marie, though. Eva Marie, you can tell that chick was like the beautiful chick is who Eva Marie was. That was what defined her. Here's the thing: Eva Marie was never the chick that was, I'm a volleyball player and I just happen to be beautiful, or I'm a track, I run track and I just happen to be beautiful. Eva Marie was the hot chick. So if your whole life you're the hot chick and you've never done anything athletic in your life, and then you start training to be a wrestler at 32 or whatever the hell she is, that's what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Lana, from what I understand, is like into kickboxing and has all types of other types of stuff that she's not completely formed to moving around. Does that make sense? Now, just because she was good at those things doesn't mean she'll be good at wrestling. But I'm saying the fact that Eva Marie looked like she was running in slow motion when she hit the ropes, and you had to tell her things like, "Hey, you should smile when you get a pinfall, and you don't kick out when you're supposed to kick out of a move." Those are things that you would know if you had any kind of fucking athletic background.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the fact that Lana seems to have done more in her life than just be beautiful, and that's my only qualification for everything, might help her out.
And I pray to God that is the case. I pray to God because, unfortunately, like I said, in WWE you haven't seen much else. It's just been, I've got this fat ass booty, and I wear these short ass little skirts, and it makes everybody go, woo! If it was just a little bit up further, I could see some butt cheek.
God.
I know, because I'm in the same spot, but I don't want that to be all she is. I would like for this promo and this lead-in to be an actual start for Lana to be a women's champion. I would like for her to be something serious instead of a joke like Eva Marie.
Like I said, I don't think she'll be. I think there was one of those. Here's the thing. You know why Eva Marie even existed in WWE? Because of Trish Stratus. Because they thought that they could just find any. Trish taught them basically that they thought that they could get any pretty face and teach them to wrestle, and they would have a star on their hands. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Trish was rare, and Trish actually gave a fuck about the wrestling business and wanted to get better and actively tried to get better. A lot of those chicks actually, basically, I mean, are there any of the Diva Search chicks still around?
Not that I know.
Are Nikki Bella and are they from the Diva Search?
I think so.
Like, I know they come from that era, but I don't know if they were ever on the show.
I don't think they made it very far if they did, or if they were on the show.
All those girls fizzle out.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, because all it was, hey, we're just looking for the really cute person.
We're looking to use wrestling to get into something else.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think Eva Marie was like the you started off with Trish, who worked out great, and then you had a lot of chicks who didn't last long enough to be terrible, but they were terrible, but they were just like blips on the radar. And then you had Eva Marie, who was the worst of everything. She was awful, and she stayed around for a long time. But I would argue Eva Marie's not even the worst. I think Rosa Mendez is the worst. I don't think that you could. Her last win on TV before she got cut, what was it, last year, at the end of last year? Her last win, her only win, was by disqualification in 2010 or 9.
Yeah.
If you last won a match 7-8 years ago, how are you on the roster?
Yeah.
You want to know how you're on the roster? Because you're keeping someone's balls fucking drained. That's how you're on the roster.
Yep. I mean, unfortunately, but it's the truth.
So yeah, I think that era is over with. I think the fact that she's working with people that are going to be better than her is going to help her out because she's going to have no choice but to get better. If she comes in and she's the worst one on the roster, you're either going to get better or you're going to fizzle out. There's going to be no in between because you can't get worse. Here's the thing, and that's another thing about that model era was when you had a bunch of those fucking Diva Search chicks and they were wrestling each other. Who does that help? I suck, you suck, so we'll just go out there and make a black hole of suck, and no one gets better, and no one wants to see it, and it's not fun for anyone.
Yeah.
So I think Lana's going to have no choice but to get better. And, if she tries it for a while and they go, look, this isn't working, we're just going to put you back in the short skirt with the real high heels and your nice voluptuous butt hanging out, and just go out there and shout Rusev Crush, but don't worry about wrestling anymore. I'll be good with that. And she'll be over, like I said, she's been over. If she actually wrestles as halfway decent, she'll get right back over.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think she'll be Eva Marie. Eva Marie was so obvious why she was there. She had no chance of ever getting over. I have respect for Lana because, like I said, the story we talked about earlier, where Vince tried to break them up, and she was gonna. And again, Vince tried to break them up, and Lana was going to benefit from this because he wanted to build a division around her, and she could have had everything and chose to stay with her man. So I got all the respect in the world for that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Did we have Dolph next?
Dolph's out in the who gives a shit moment of Smackdown, cutting a promo, and I was almost about to go do anything else besides watch this promo until Shinsuke Nakamura's theme hits. Dolph doesn't like this. He says that he doesn't even know who Shinsuke is. Thunderous Nakamura chants after Dolph says this. you want to know who I am? I am Shinsuke Nakamura. Keep it short and sweet. I like that. Don't have him fucking, saying these long ass paragraphs.
Reading a soliloquy.
Exactly. Just short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph goes to kick Nakamura after attempting to walk out of the ring. Shinsuke catches his foot, shoves him on his ass. Dolph considered rushing Nakamura, but bails.
Yep.
And I put it was very smart to keep Shinsuke off the mic, keep it short and sweet. He doesn't need to say more than that. Keep it short and sweet, like a la The Undertaker.
Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Nakamura's part was great. Dolph looked like a whiny bitch, unfortunately.
I'm giving up on them doing anything with Dolph.
I really am. He's just a glorified jobber at this point. And that sucks because I had high hopes for Dolph, but he just kind of fizzled. And I guess that's what they saw in him, is just a fizzle. And
here's the thing about that, too. Dolph is a former world champion, so that makes your belts look like shit. When this dude loses every match, it's like, okay, this dude who loses every match now is a former world champion. I guess, winning a world title in that company doesn't mean shit.
Nope. And it's crazy because...
Same thing with Jack Swagger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even want to talk about Jack Swagger right now. Let's leave him alone. Fuck that dude. That dude. But anyways, yeah, I mean, Shinsuke, good showing. Of course, there's going to be a Dolph versus Shinsuke match. Probably a rivalry. And we're going to have to live through it.
Yeah.
I think Shinsuke's going to do a good job the whole way through. Dolph, of course, will be the show-off, quote-unquote, that he is. And I hope that there'll be good matches, but it's going to be lean towards Shinsuke.
Yeah, it'll be...
it's going to help to get push in.
It'll showcase Shinsuke.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right after that, we had the Baron Corbin video segment, which I was very upset with. Baron Corbin, I like Baron Corbin. I'm not a big, negative fan of Baron Corbin, but when your promos have the same flux of your voice, whenever you're like, Dean Ambrose, I'm gonna beat you up, and then you say, AJ Styles, I'm gonna beat you up, you're repeating your same flux of words. You don't sound very threatening to me.
Beep and boop and
exactly. And it's unfortunate because how I wrote it down is if you put some gravel in your voice, if you put a little just in your voice, it would be better than what you're doing right now.
If you acted like you would rather be, if you didn't act like you'd rather be at the DMV than being cutting a promo.
Exactly. I mean, talk some shit.
Put some enthusiasm into it, bro.
You're an asshole. You're an ass kicker, but you talk like you're reading from a Shakespeare poem. It sucks, bro.
I know it's supposed to come off as he's too cool for school, but it sounds like he's bored.
It sounds
and
like
I'm bored
reading
watching it.
The damn English book from school. You might think you're too cool for it, but you're reading the damn book verbatim. And it's like, come on, throw some of your own personality in there. Be a fucking badass. You are a 2-time Golden Glove boxer.
And I know that. Here's the thing. You can't, and I'm not talking about in a shoot way, but you can't convince someone they're a bad, they just you have to get that from them. You have to feel that aura from them.
Yeah.
You're getting,
and unfortunately, it's just he doesn't convey that.
Nope.
And
it was fucked we're talking a shoot here, it's the truth, but he can't convey it.
No. I mean, wrestling style, yeah. He performs as a badass.
What you get to me, that's WWE not playing to the strengths of their guy. If he sucks on the mic, don't let him talk.
Exactly. Or let him say, 5 words and then walk away. I'm gonna fuck up Dean Ambrose. And walk away. That's all you need to say. I don't care for anything else. I don't need to know what you wrote in your diary. Fuck that shit. I just need to know how you feel right now before you get into a match. You want to beat the shit out of this dude. All right, I'm behind you. But if you tell me your whole life story and you're supposed to be this fucking badass, I don't feel like you're a fucking badass.
That's WWE doing too much again. Less is more.
It's just craziness.
All right, let's get to this main event, which I thought was pretty decent.
Yep.
I actually didn't write much down about this match, not because I was
before that,
bored out of my mind, but
before that, who do we have coming to Smackdown Live? New Day.
I kind of knew that was coming too.
They had to give a push to the tag team championships.
Yeah.
Because all you have at the moment is the Usos.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to fucking push the Ascension for whatever reason.
Vaudevillains are shit canned permanently.
Yep. Since Gouch is gone, you got rid of Slater and Rhino.
Who are going to just ride on Raw.
Exactly. They're just going to be jobbers for the tag team. They are going to be the the Ascension of Raw. That's sad to say because Ascension, I love you guys, but y'all have been made to be a joke, and that sucks. Especially y'all's face paint sucks.
Yes, it does. I'm usually a big fan of face paint, but it just looks like they were already kind of the butt of a lot of jokes before the face paint.
Yeah.
Where normally it would probably make you look badass. It just made them look more of a
joke,
a parody of themselves.
Yeah. Yep. And that sucks. And I'm not really interested in the tag team division on SmackDown.
Not that. Raw did win there.
Yes.
And there's not anything that's going to help SmackDown in the future because I don't think the authors of pain are going to generate the kind of excitement that the Revival did. DIY might.
Yeah, but I don't think DIY has enough of competition. All they have are the Usos.
The Usos, who did they face? American Alpha. But like I said, yeah.
American Alpha's turning into a joke.
They've gone over like a wet fart.
Did they win the tag team? Yeah, they won the tag team championships for a little bit and got beat by who? The Usos.
Yeah. But that's on WWE. WWE has not done a good job of making me care about them since they've come up.
Yeah.
I cared about them in NXT.
Oh yeah, definitely. They were hot. They were like Chad Gable would get fucking the shit beat out of him, and then Jason Jordan would come in and be hype as fuck. And even if he hit you with that spear and had to redo it, and he would pull up his fucking straps, and then he'd pull them back down right afterwards and redo it all again. I mean, they had a lot of enthusiasm, but shooting them up to the main roster, there's not as much enthusiasm, and I don't feel as excited. And that sucks, because they're a great team.
You know, the year, a lot of people think the best year for WWE creatively was 2000, right? And I don't remember who this guy's name is. I'd have to look it up, but he had storylines mapped out months and months in advance on this big, board. And so he knew who he was feuding with and when, and you could see that in the cohesiveness of the storytelling. Now what it seems like happens is they get their focus on certain people, and then other people are just kind of left to ride.
Yeah.
And I think American Alpha has been, really the whole tag team division in general has been like that.
It's what's the name of that? Damn it. I normally know the name of this guy. This guy who he's got tunnel vision all the time. television. That's
with the teeth?
No, I'm talking about OBGYN, the guy who's always doing the test on the chicks and making sure their babies are going to come out and stuff and all that crap. But yeah, because he's always looking up, so he's got a tunnel vision because he's always looking down the tunnel. That's what the fucking WWE writers have. They always see one person and they just look down a tunnel.
SmackDown's been better at it than Raw.
They have this.
It's pain late. Like you can tell they haven't had anything for the tag team division since they stopped really booking Rhino and Slater.
Yeah, they kind of. Well, SmackDown's kind of just been afloat as far as the tag team division. But we move on to the triple threat match: Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles. Which AJ Styles, of course, has a big pop because he is the face of SmackDown Live,
as he should be,
and he earned it. He deserves it. He's done a great job to do it, and now he's going after the United States champion.
Which I kind of don't like, but it is what it is. I know when the time comes, him and Kevin Owens will put on a really good match. But AJ should be a World Heavyweight Championship contender because
I think he's going more for like the what do they call it? Grand Slam winner.
Yeah,
I think he wants to win all the titles he can, so that he can have that honor. Because even though he might not be in WWE for as long as other people, he still wants the honor Chris Jericho has, who's been with WWE for a while.
Well, let me ask you this: Bray and Orton will finish up whatever they're doing at the next Raw pay-per-view.
Orton will win,
obviously. If AJ and Owens are in this US feud, where does Randy go from here?
Randy goes to face somebody who is quote-unquote obsolete. He'll probably retain, keep the championship.
But who, though? Because they have to make it kind of, they can't just go, Randy Orton's going to face Eric Rowan in the main event of some B-level pay-per-view. They got to actually throw someone decent at it. Who is it if those two are locked up?
He might go Luke Harper.
You think?
Possibly. But whoever it is, he's probably going to retain.
Oh, no, retain.
And then I think he'll lose to Kevin Owens.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Or I could see, I know Styles really wants a program with Orton.
That's possible, but because I have a feeling AJ Styles will beat Kevin Owens, I don't think that will happen for a while. Maybe after KO beats Randy Orton, or maybe if somebody else beats Randy Orton, but I think Kevin Owens has more of a shot at it.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe it'll be like a Randy Orton, AJ Styles type thing. But who's to know? That's up to their writers, and unfortunately, their writers aren't always the best.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot. I've said they keep asking AJ who's the one guy he wants to work with, and it's always Randy Orton. So anyway, during this match, like I said, I didn't write a ton down about it because I was actually decently into the match. AJ bumps his fucking ass off, man. I love that about AJ, but and also it's like, dude, I want you to be around for like another 5 years. I don't want you fucking like you see some of the shit he does, like when he takes these fucking huge bumps off the top rope to the outside of the ring. It's like, oh god, yeah. I know that hurts. Like you. So yeah, AJ,
I think he just goes to make sure it's sold, and it's sold good.
Yes, but I just get so fucking cringy. It's like, dude, I know you can't nail these landings all the time. Like, you have to be hurting from some of the shit you do.
I would assume so, but I mean, I don't think at AJ's point, I don't think he's going to take an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
I do believe he will take risks, but that's just because that's who AJ is.
Yeah, it is, but I think some of the risks I've seen take are a little unnecessary.
And to me and you, that may be unnecessary, but to him, it may be easy as pie. It may be a risk that he's like, oh, that's simple to make sure that it looks good, but it's not nothing serious.
I don't know. I wish wish he wouldn't risk it sometimes just for a run-of-the-mill SmackDown. And I'm not saying make the match shit like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, is a dive off the top rope to the outside, is it really necessary? Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially if you do it more than once, which I've seen him do.
Yeah.
You see him bounce like a Super Bowl across that ring sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's great at selling. He's great at doing big moves, and he does them all in the same match. And it's a lot to take in, but that's why he is the face that runs the place. He is the person who built SmackDown Live, and it's because he goes above and beyond, and he does what he needs to do to make sure that he performs, like I said earlier, at WrestleMania capacity every time.
I just want him to be around in 5 years.
I understand, but here's the thing. Dude's been doing it for how long?
I understand that.
And he's been doing it at the same capacity.
No, probably more.
Exactly.
There's some moves that
he's tamed some from what he used to do.
I understand that, but I'm saying a lot of those are moves like look at Neville last year. He got hurt off of a run-of-the-mill baseball slide.
Yeah, and I mean,
and it's just a wrong landing. Like
it is
when you jump off the top rope to the outside of the ring and land on ankle. Like when you do it, like here's the thing. I can understand doing it once a match, but if you're doing it 2 and 3 times a match, it's like, dude, you're increasing the chance.
But here's the thing: at that point in time, you in your mind, like whenever I do something, and I've done it for so long, I'm used to it just going that way. I can't help it if something goes awry and it doesn't go the way that I think it should go every single time. That's just a fluke. It's something that you can't predict. But if you do everything perfectly on your side and you know you're doing it as well as you can't guess what the other person's going to do.
I can understand, but I'm saying save maybe do it once a match, 2 times, and save the 3 and 4 times you do that for a SummerSlam, for a WrestleMania.
And I can understand that.
Don't eat up a leg or eat up a fucking knee or an ACL on a meaningless house show in November when they're not even trying anyway.
Don't get a concussion on Monday Night Raw.
Exactly.
But you got anything else to put into that?
Not just to finish. Another really nice Blue Thunder bomb by Sammy. Sammy hits the haluva kick on Corbin.
Which, by the way, I thought Baron looked pretty good throughout the whole match.
Yes, he did. And again, Baron looks very good when you have him in there with guys who know what they're doing.
Yes.
And I will even give him credit because that almost makes it sound like Baron's not good. I've made no secret of how I feel about Dean Ambrose in-ring work about 90% of the time. He had a decent, was it a hardcore match? Or what was it last week with Ambrose?
Yeah.
And,
it was a street match.
Yeah. That was a decent match. And, Ambrose in the ring with Kevin Owens, who I also like in the ring, had a shit match, in my opinion, on Raw. So,
yeah.
It's not all, AJ and Sammy carrying Corbin, but I mean, I knew he was going to have a decent match when I saw he was in the ring with. But,
well, I mean, when a big guy like that has a decent, smaller guy, you're going to have a great match. But whenever you have some guy like Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, you got some guy who's not good at getting thrown around. Because to me, Dean Ambrose potato sacks a lot of people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with Baron Corbin, I don't think he's veteran enough to be potato sacked and be able to recover from it.
Yeah. I don't know if I got too much to add. Oh yeah. The finish came, like I said, Sammy hits the haluva kick on Corbin, turns right into a phenomenal forearm, and the new #1 contender.
And the crowd loves him.
Absolutely.
And he is showing love for the crowd. He's pointing out to him like, yeah, this is for y'all. He might not be like vocally promoting it.
Oh, the face hurt for real.
Oh yeah, but he's a face. He's a face.
Yeah, with Corbin, I think Corbin's actually about the perfect size you want for a big man. You're not going to get the freak like the Undertaker again, who is 6'10", but can work with a small guy as well. Because, I mean, 6'10", I think Eric Rowan is 6'10". He's a big lumbering guy.
Yeah.
Where, Taker, especially toward the end of his career, before he got to how he is now, was 6'10" quick.
Oh, yeah. He was Baron Corbin quick, but taller.
But 2-3 inches taller.
Yeah.
So I think as far as a big guy, Corbin's about the perfect size you want for that. And he's got a decent amount of quickness and decent amount of moving ability. He's not like one of these big lumbering guys.
Definitely agile.
All right, so that'll do it for Raw and SmackDown this week.
Yep. So that's Outside the Ring. I'm one of your hosts, John Callahan.
Frank Wrestling.
And we'll definitely see you again next week. Just tune in. Let us know what you think. Peace out.
Peace.